What is up, everybody? Okay, let's see if we can finish Orleans today. Hey, Chaos! Thank you for the 29 months, man. That's a long Prime sub right there. Alright, free stuff. Let's see, what do we get through this? We got a bunch of SQ later. Wow, 60 then 50 SQ. Look at that. Bunch of summon tickets, some apples. Feels good. And Sentai, Sinti, thank you for the 7 months. I do apologize. I'm pretty tired today, so maybe kind of low energy, but my back has still really been bothering me, and it's been kind of exhausting me, but it's doing a little bit better today, so I'll hang in there. But yeah, it might be a little chiller than normal. Maybe that's a good thing. We'll see. Anyway, what do we got here? Right, we're gonna have to do those later. We actually can't do these because we don't have 40 AP inherently, so gotta level up another time. I wouldn't say no reason. When you get older, it just back pain becomes more normal, I would say. All right, well, Cairo got a bit ahead of us yesterday. We gotta catch up here. $44-star XP. Kind of weird when 5-star XP is so common, but we'll take what we can get. Alright, just riders. What is the next boss? Let me think. It might be Vlad and D'eon? Maybe forgetting something. And maybe it's Sanson. I know you fight Sanson like 2 more times, I think. I know Sanson is in there, D'eon and Vlad is in there, CARMILLA, obviously, Jalter and all that stuff, and Big Dragon Boy. Alright, well, time to throw assassins at it. And I saw Cairo had a rough time with Liz and Kyokime, and I think it's because he kept killing Liz first, so yeah, he was having a bad time there with Kyo just living so long and doing damage everywhere. Alright, let's just throw every assassin under the sun at this thing. And then, I guess Mash, Berserker cleanup. Also, Cairo said the same thing I did about like Salomi's growth curve. Early game is really busted, actually. I mean, look at her stats right now. Like, look at that. She's flooring everybody, and then she comes with an attack up, so she's like way ahead of everybody. That won't last though. That will not last, because that's just because her growth curve happens to be like that. She does have a good stat line though for a 2-star. Now she actually might be grail worthy. We'll see. We'll see how she holds up as time goes on. If George was allowed, I would say she'd be like a sure grail, but because George isn't allowed, I don't know. We'll see. So I thought of something. If they ever added story replay, so I mean the story's over. That's it. They're never adding story replay, so that's the end of that. But if they ever add story replay, we could totally do kind of what me and Cairo were doing on our main accounts, and you start at Camelot and on, but you change what servants are available, right? You don't make everything garbage. You kind of pick a, like we get Aerie to do it or something. We have Aerie look at what servants we have, and we have her pick, you know, a few servants of each class to what would be interesting, right? Like what would be different, what might, you know, kind of synergies might be in there, like if you slap in George and Siegfried or, you know, whatever. That could be fun, actually. Like have a limited roster. Especially if they added New Game Plus, so the game was even harder. And there's other rules you could implement to spice things up. Alright, we will... And I really like the co-op aspect of it because the support is such a big part of the game if you realize it or not. And then when the support is in like the same boat as you, there is just no cheesing, right? Like it's not a thing at all, and I really like that. Even though you can't like really play on the screen at the same time, you know, your support is such a large part of what you interact with, especially the level range stuff. Could be a boss fight, but I don't think so. It's definitely not Fafnir or Fenrir or whichever the fuck. Because you fight him in the desert, so that's not this. Alright, Jekyll smacking a bitch. Incredible animations right there. Guess I want to sneak in some NP gain here. Do that. Crit, crit, crit! Damn it. Well, he crit though. Good thing we had evade. It is funny, early game, especially when you're level capped like this, a lot of servants that might not ever be good, you know, actually become kind of good, right? Like the fact that Charlotte has evade from the get-go is actually really helpful, and then units with a good stat growth for early game are really helpful. Now, they're going to be as ever once you get to max level, but in the meantime, they're quite nice. Wow, did he actually forget to do Fion's animation update? Off memory, he kind of got updated like right before or right after it, I thought. Like there was almost nothing going on when he got updated off memory.
Oh, so, oh.
Yeah, I didn't remember it being with New Year's. I thought it was kind of like with just whatever. Come on, get your NPs, let's go. Well, one of these days, Jinkei's gonna crit. We're getting absolutely melted here. Well, Jekyll's got a couple of cards. Good deck shuffle. The company hasn't switched over yet, it's still DW. I'll give it a minute. It's crazy how much the 1000 damage does to you at this level. It's actually pretty noticeable. Big chunk.
私は世界を動かせずけれど世界は私を鈍らせないラ・レーブ・アースレイ
8K. So I just started Dark Souls for the first time. I mean, really, the best way to play Dark Souls, in my opinion, is don't worry about it. Don't look anything up. Don't stress out if you're doing well or doing bad. Just play the game, explore on your own, right? I think that's I think what Miyazaki wanted. That's like the point of a lot of the game, is how you use the tools available to you to kind of figure things out and adapt and trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error. It's scientific method, that kind of stuff. I think it's a huge fun part of the game. I think when you overthink it, you look stuff up, you worry too much about if you're doing well or doing bad. I think a lot of the fun is lost, right? So kind of just use the weapons that you like, go in the direction that you like. Just I tell you the one piece of advice I'll give you though: don't level resistance. Just don't level resistance. Also, when in doubt, this is good for every single like FromSoft game. If you don't, when you're leveling up and you don't know what to level up, when in doubt, level health and endurance up to at least 40 each. Right? Those points will never be wasted. It's always good to have more health and endurance. It's never a bad decision to get those. So if you're kind of unsure, like maybe I should get more damage, maybe I should do this. Am I gonna be Dex? Am I gonna be Strength? Do I want Faith? If you're not sure yet and you want to just level up a bit, just level endurance and health, and you're not gonna regret it. So it's always a safe pick. You're always gonna find every other game easier. I don't know. I've seen this topic brought up so often in the FromSoft games, and I just want to slap everyone. because you'll see everyone always saying, I played this game first, and I think all the other ones are easier. I've seen everyone say Dark Souls 2 is the hardest. I've seen people say Bloodborne's the hardest. I've seen people say Dark Souls 1's the hardest. I've seen people saying Demon Souls is the hardest, which I think it objectively isn't, because it has a lot of mobs from the other games, but just weaker. Like, that's such a thing in Demon Souls. The one that's the hardest is always the one you play first. Every time. Because you don't know what the fuck you're doing yet, right? You haven't learned anything. And because all of the games are fairly similar. Like, everyone acts like Bloodborne is so different. It really isn't. You know, a lot of the core mechanics are the same between all the games. Even Sekiro, for God's sakes, has a lot of the core concepts. Once you know what the core concepts are, every subsequent game is going to be easier. For example, there's someone out there right now, or probably like a 15-year-old out there or whatever, never played any of the FromSoft games. None of them. And Elden Ring is going to be their first one. And not a lot of people, but a few people like that they're not gonna look stuff up online, right? And they're gonna just play the game blind. And they're probably gonna get annihilated, right? They're probably gonna have a really hard time, but they'll, you know, eventually figure it out. And then they might be like, okay, you know, let's go play the other games. And because they figured out Elden Ring, those other games are going to be way easier for them. Like, yeah, maybe a boss here and there trips them up, you know, maybe they, have an issue with this and that. But overall, they're gonna have an easier time than they did in Elden Ring. And that's just always how it is. Like, if you played Demon Souls first, and I remember, when Demon Souls was the only FromSoft game, right? The only one. There were some people out there that were just, you know, they played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. You know, they got crazy fucking good at it, and they just played it so much. And then when Dark Souls rolled around, you know, several years later, they annihilated it, right? Because they were just so used to what the series is about, and they'd gotten really good at it, and they're like, oh, Dark Souls is so easy. But it wasn't because Dark Souls is so easy, it's because they played Demon Souls so much, you know, they just gotten so good at it. And same thing happened to me. When I played was Dark Souls. My first playthrough was pretty tough. You know, I didn't know, we had iframes, I didn't know what the equip load levels were for your roll speeds and all these things. And, but you know, I beat it, and then I played Dark Souls a lot more. You know, I played it several times over and over, and I, you know, did some PvP. And I eventually got a PlayStation 3, and I got Demon Souls. And it was one of the easiest games I've ever played, because it was so similar to Dark Souls, and I already mastered Dark Souls, so it was just a joke. Like, I had just obliterated Demon Souls, right? I was like, wow, that was easy. And yeah, this happens all the time in the Souls community, all the time. So everyone always plays a game first, and they act like it's the hardest thing ever, and like everything else is so easy. And they're like, oh yeah, well, that first game though, that's the best one. Like, that's so common. You see that with Dark Souls 2, see that with Dark Souls 3, just all of them. And when it comes down to it, they're actually all pretty similar in difficulty. Although I will say, I think Demon Souls is probably the easiest, and then probably Dark Souls 1, just because it's so easy to abuse backstabs on enemies. Like, the enemies just cannot handle backstabs. I think Bloodborne was hard for some people simply because they weren't actually good at some of the playstyles in Dark Souls, right? Like, I've seen so many people say Bloodborne is so hard because you can't use a shield, but a lot of good Souls players never use shields anyway. And the dodge in Bloodborne is better than the dodge in Dark Souls. So if all you were ever doing was dodging, Bloodborne's actually pretty easy. Like, if you're already used to that kind of stuff, it's not a big deal. But if you're not, then it could be really hard. Okay, that's enough of that. What do we got? Lancer, Saber. How do I want to do this? I guess because you don't really know what order they're going to be in, I'm going to put like a Saber because they're not getting countered by anything, but I'm not going to bring Archer, and I'll use Berserkers to deal with the Sabers. That's generally a good way to approach things, honestly, when you don't know what like the classes are like that. Just bring the one class that's not getting countered at all. I need to level my Jason. Let me actually do that real quick. And we're definitely gonna have to level Jason for Hector. I mean, I literally picked Anastasia as my free 5-star, like, and she's one of the only 5-stars that was on the list, so. Okay, where is Jason? Here he is. Give our boy some bronze XP. For those that are new here, right now our level cap is 10, but we said, like with right here, if you happen to get a great success and you go over some, it's fine. So we basically say it's 10 to 15. Like right now the level cap is 10 to 15, but aim for 10, right? Like we're not trying to hit 15. but you know, you can't control great and super successes, and there's even an event going on where they're more likely, so it's actually quite difficult to get someone to level 10 right now. Jason flooring Gilius right now on stats. Again, growth curve, but when they're both maxed out, Gilius will be quite a bit ahead. What do we give him? Don't really have any Stargen going on right now. We'll do that. This should be an easy stage. I have no. Wait, no. Okay, if it's D'eon and Vlad, it's going to be Saber and Berserker. I do need to look out for that though, because I think that might be the next fight, so I need to be careful. Mash. Giving her the extra health, and fuck it, who knows, maybe someone gets a crit. Alright, off we go. But yeah, it's true for a lot of game franchises. The first one you play a lot of times is the one you're going to like the most, because it's when the series has the most mystery, which gets you more immersed in the world and everything else. But that's definitely something I've seen in the From Software game library, where whatever game someone plays first, they think it's the hardest and they think it's the best. My brother was actually like that for Dark Souls 2 for a while, but eventually he was like, yeah, okay, no. It's, Dark Souls 2's got problems. Man, we don't even have Black Braille. Maybe someday. Okay, looks like it's all sabers and then just lancers at the end. There's some aspects I like of 2, but like I think people are on just copium when they act like 2, it doesn't have problems, right? Like you can subjectively like whatever you want, but there's no. It's like it objectively has more problems than the other games. Like the animations on the enemies are terrible, right? Like I don't just mean like their attack animations, right? Like their running animations are garbage. Like they're actually amateur level. And it's just a fact, a lot of the animations are fucked up where their hitboxes come out before their animations do, right? These are objective problems with the game. And then you have a lot of stuff with like the things in the background aren't actually there geographically, you know, it's like a fake backdrop. You know, so you have all those like fucked up zone transitions that don't make any sense. A lot of the early bosses are just laughably lame, right? Like Dragon Rider, his moveset is so trash. Now, there's plenty of good things in too, and there's things that you might like so much that it's your favorite in spite of those flaws, right? And that's fine. I think everybody has, things in life that they like because of that. But I see a lot of people acting like Dark Souls 2 is somehow this masterpiece game that everyone is just, blind to. Meanwhile, you have all these enemies, running like fucking drunken, blind, circus performers. And you got bosses that can, barely swing, and you can just strafe and dodge everything. And you have these absurd zone transitions. I was like, no, I think people don't like Dark Souls 2 for a good reason. Like, it's got some, like, real laughable flaws in it. And, like, all games, will have pros and cons. And a lot of subjective things that, like, maybe it's good in your opinion and maybe it's bad in your opinion, and that's fine. But Dark Souls 2 just has a lot of, like, objective signs of a bad development process. And we know that's what it had. They changed the developers midway through. The new lead developer even said they had to, like, scrap a lot of stuff and basically hobble a lot of stuff together. And there's signs of, like, that troubled development process throughout the game in many areas, right? Between the animation quality and the hitboxes and the zone transitions and just the movement of the character. A lot of it feels unpolished. And I think that's a big part of why a lot of people don't like it. And I think that's really fair. And it's crazy to me how often, like, people will try to act like Dark Souls 2 is just like, how can anyone hate this game? It's like, what are you talking about? And, like, again, subjectively, there's reasons to like and dislike all of the games. Like Dark Souls 1, all the enemies are laughably easy to backstab, and there's all things like that. And then, Dark Souls 3, some people don't like the more linear structure of it and things like that. And that's all fine, but Dark Souls 2 just, it's like, it does have some gems, but the absolute, like, astonishing amount of, like, amateur level programming in that game is just kind of embarrassing to me. And then the fact that you have, like, things like soul memory and all this other crap, they're just such major problems. I couldn't possibly ignore them and act like I like that game, because anytime I actually sit down and try to play it without cheating, without using, you know, like a friend to drop a bunch of items or anything, like, it's just such a unfun experience for like the first 20 hours. And eventually you get to the DLC and you're like, okay, this is actually good. If I could judge just the DLC on its own, I'd be like, yeah, it's a pretty good game, right? Because the DLC is way more polished than the base game is. But, you know, you have like 30 hours of the base game before you're going to get into any of that. And like the YouTube channel Limit Breakers, right? They often make fun of Dark Souls 2 and always gonna say the B team. But the thing is, that's true. We know for a fact that's what happened. The good developers at FromSoft, their A team, wasn't working on Dark Souls 2. I think they were working on Bloodborne and then Dark Souls 3 and then all that. And it's a fact that it was the B team that was working on Dark Souls 2, and that's why you have like really amateur, you know, animations for a lot of the enemies. Like, there's like so many enemies do like this ridiculous waddle when they're like running towards you, right? Like if you run back a good bit and they have to like sprint towards you, like almost every enemy does this just absurd waddle that looks like it's from fucking PlayStation 1, right? And it's like, yeah, really great game here. It's like everyone says the Falconer Knights, and yeah, they're really bad, but it's not just them. It's like the Scion Knights, it's most of the Hollows, it's like those dudes in the Wharf, right? They all look fucking stupid, and then it's not like, oh, you're like, oh, that's just cosmetic. Who cares? It's not just cosmetic, because like that kind of sloppy animations translates through their attacks and their hitboxes, which is just, you know, terrible. And again, in the DLC, they have better hitboxes, but God, like that game just, it really rubs me the wrong way, because it has so much potential, because it has some really cool like zone design and like aesthetic, and has really cool armor, and you know they actually made Leap attacks good and R2's good, right? That's all some pretty awesome positive stuff, but then there's just so many fundamental flaws in that game that just don't even need to be there. Like why is soul memory in that game? Like how, like that was their answer to twinking, and they made twinking worse because of it. It's like, how could you possibly have thought that was gonna fix anything? Like, I see a lot of people get like insulted when like Limit Breakers brings up the DT thing, but it's just a fact. It's what happened. I don't really know what has the best fashion in this series. I will say there is a lot of good fashion in Dark Souls 2. Like, there really is. But there's a few key sets in the other games that I'm like, that looks pretty damn good though. So I don't know. They all have their pros and cons, but I will say Dark Souls 2 fashion there are some nice armor sets in there. I would say, if I could pick any of the FromSoft games to get a remaster, and I mean a good remaster, not some phoned in, you know, graphics update, I would pick Dark Souls 2, because I do think it has potential to be amazing, but that potential is not even remotely realized. And I mean, not even remotely realized. And if it got a proper remaster where they really fixed a lot of the hitboxes and animations, they got rid of soul memory, they made a lot of the earlier bosses, you know, not garbage. You know, and when I mean garbage, I don't mean like unfair. I mean like boring as fuck, and I could beat it with my eyes closed. That kind of boring and bad. So if they can fix all of that, I would actually really like Dark Souls 2. As for FGO, we get like, okay, as I'm playing through this, you know, this little challenge thing, especially the boss fights, I'm like, why can't we make the actual early game story this engaging, where you actually care about what units you bring, and you actually need to think about, like, look at Kairo's stream that he just did yesterday, right? You know, he got smacked by a few of the bosses, and he had to actually think about, you know, okay, this unit's probably gonna die here, so this needs to come in, and you know, this unit's better because of this. That teaches you stuff, right? So if you have new players having at least a fraction of that kind of gameplay, by the time they get to Camelot, Gwen's not gonna just roll them, right? And, yeah, there's too much filler. That's something I see really clear. I mean, I've always known that, but it's really clear when we're doing this that there's way too much filler in these early singularities, right? I mean, even some of the later ones, but there's way too many trash mobs, and you know, it's really boring and stuff. So that needs to be fixed. But like, if they could make the game actually harder, where like the average level you're actually going to have your servants actually matches the content, right? That would help a lot. And honestly, I would like chat's opinion on this, because I really feel like the support system in FGO is just really bad, and it wasn't well thought out. Because, for example, when Oceanus was the first story they added to FGO. You know, it was additional content, DLC, if you will. Back then, the average player on the support list was probably going to be like level 40 to 50, maybe, right? And so the content is kind of aimed at that. But as the game goes on, that's not the case anymore. And on NA, you had dailies early, so people leveled faster. And now almost everyone on your support list is level 70 to 90 to 100. There's so many hundreds on your friends list now. And then, but you're fighting, you know, a level 14 werewolf with 8,000 health that'll die in one buster card. That's not good gameplay. That doesn't teach you anything. That doesn't prepare you for Gwen and Tiamat and Zeus and Demeter, right? You're not getting prepared for those things. You're not learning how to use your deck. You're not learning how to build your team. You're learning how to click God Gina on your support list and have him one-shot everything. That's not good gameplay. That doesn't help the player base. That doesn't get people engaged. That gets people bored, and that gets people to quit. And it does do that. So the support list, I think, really needs to change fundamentally in how it works. Because look at how much harder this game is when we're actually level appropriate, and the only person I can summon my friends list is also level appropriate, right? The game is completely different. You know, like, it's completely different. And you know, now it's so easy to cheese the game without even trying to, that I think the new player experience in FGO is just, I mean, it's atrocious. I mean, it's atrocious, and there's no way that they're gaining that many new players because of it. Like, you almost have to have a friend tell you the game's gonna get way better, you know, 60 hours later, and it's worth putting up with. But for some people, it's not worth putting up with. That's the thing. So the fact that they just keep ignoring the early game and it's just sitting here in this terrible state, and they don't seem to be interested at all in fixing it, really annoys me. Yeah, so Lost, I've said that before. You know, Arc Knights has it where the whatever support list unit you summon will be the highest level. It will be the level of the highest unit on your team. So if your highest unit on your team is level 20, the guy you summon from your support list will also be level 20. Now, I would normally agree with that, but it wouldn't work. And you know why it wouldn't work? Because they gave everyone a free max ascension. So everybody's gonna pick a free 5-star max ascend it, and bam, they're level 90, and then now your friend list unit is level 90, and I'm still in Fuyuki. It's like, I mean, it's way too easy to cheese this game, because they've never thought about how, you know, these things, right? They've implemented a lot of these systems without thinking about how they were going to impact the game in the long term, and it's like, it's really broken now because of that. Yeah, you could make that not count for it, but that'd be actually kind of hard to code, and it'd be hard to understand. Like, how come my max unit is level 80, and then when I summon this guy, he's not level 80 when it says it's supposed to match my highest level, right? Like, there's some real problems there. Ultimately, they should have done the max ascend thing, right? Like, they shouldn't have done that. And I keep saying, this is what worries me about FGO, because it's making the same mistake I've seen a trillion other games make. Is instead of fixing their early game and thinking about how they can make a smooth experience, maybe making the base game harder, so if players are getting into it with stronger units from the get-go, the game is, you know, meeting them, and it's harder to start with. You know, and maybe cut out the filler, so it's less boring, right? Maybe you also give it, you know, more mats, so people can level smoother, get their skills up smoother. Instead of doing stuff like that, all these games are just like, just let them skip it quickly. You know, let everyone use the follow system and summon level 120 and just murder everything until they get to, you know, Lost Belt. But that's not fun. No one wants to do that. No one wants to get into a game and go through like 40, 50 hours of a slog fest that's really easy and boring. No one wants to do that. So that you need to make your game fun. Like, if I was in charge of DW, I'd be like, okay guys, one at a time, how can we make Fuyuki fun? So new players jump into the game, and this is like a fun experience for them. They're like in what can we do, right? Can we make the story better? Can we make the gameplay better? Can we change things? What can we do to make this actually fun? Okay, next, Orleans. What can we do to make Orleans fun? Because it's not fun. It's not. Like, the thing, like, yeah, it's like, I had fun with Fuyuki on this account, but that's because we're doing all these insane restrictions and we're, you know, holding the game's hand to make sure we're not trivializing it, right? But, like, it shouldn't be that way. The player should be able to try and, like, and actually, you know, push themselves if they want to, and have it still be an engaging experience. And you should be able to break the game by just playing it naturally. Yep, exactly what Green Can't Read This said. You know, a lot of people, they're like, wow, this is boring and easy and pointless. And like, oh, it gets better later. And like, I can't be bothered, right? And I don't blame them because it takes a long time to get to Camelot. And even when you get to Camelot, even though it's much better, it's still a little understated. And there's still a lot of filler trash mobs you don't care about at all, right? There's still a lot of problems there. It's not like the game just instantly fixes itself in Camelot. Not at all. I think the first story that I'm like, wow, I wouldn't be ashamed to show this to somebody is Lost Belt 5-2. Like, if someone just plays through Lost Belt 5-2 with like a normal roster of units, they're gonna have a pretty good engaging time, and I don't think they're gonna feel like there's any filler and they're just grinding. Right? Every stage is pretty interesting. Right, so if someone can just get into FGO at 5-2 and you kind of just handed them a roster of units that's like, you know, well-rounded and decent for it, I think most people are gonna have a good time. But you don't get to Lost Belt 5-2 for like, you know, 100 hours and things like that for a lot of people. And sometimes events are really fun and engaging, but a lot, like someone just said, when you're done with the story, you just go back to, you know, farming stages that are boring again. And that doesn't have to be that way, right? You can have like, okay, I'm done with the story, now let me do this event. Oh wow, this event's really fun, right? Because they make good events sometimes. Like go to a final and things like that. Right? They've had good events, right? Even that Veach event I thought was pretty good, right? So, I mean, FGO and DW are completely capable of creating interesting stages, like, absolutely, and having medium difficulty stuff and occasionally high difficulty stuff. And even look at the farming we did. Look at the farming we did. And that Veach raid, the Veach raid, that was pretty fun, right? Like, that was actually pretty damn engaging for a farming stage. That was quite, just play 100 hours. I've seen that video, Lost. I think Arjuna sent me that video because she said it was relevant to what I'm talking about. I was talking about this in the past. And yeah, I've seen that video and I recommend that to a lot of people. I think game developers need to watch that. I think 100% game developers need to be like glued to a chair and need to watch that entire video. Because it is so true, it's painful. Because it applies to way more than gacha games and MMOs. It applies to all kinds of games. Those are probably the two genre of games though it applies to the most because they have so much ongoing content. And what happens, like, for example, when FGO launched, and I may be wrong, but I think that video actually talks about what I'm about to say here. But what happens is a lot of these video games, they launch, and they don't have a lot of content at day one, so there's a lot of padding. Right, there's a lot of padding to kind of buy time until there's more content added to the game. Right, that's why there's so much filler in Orleans and Septum, right? That's why. And like why grinding is so slow in the early days of FGO is because they were buying time to put in Oceanus, right? And Oceanus has a bunch of filler in it to buy time until they added London, right? And a lot of the events they put out in that meantime, very fillery. What happens is these games keep adding this filler and filler and filler, and then once the game actually has this built up, I mean, there is so much content in FGO and good content. The amount of good content in FGO now is staggering. But the amount of filler is even greater. So you need to go back and remove that fucking filler. Like, if you think it's necessarily in the early days, that doesn't mean it's necessary once you get into the game a year later. There's no reason for Orleans to have this much filler in it. There just isn't. It serves no purpose anymore. You don't need to stall your player base because your player base now has to get through all of 1.0, which is massive. They have all of Epic and Remnant, which is massive, and now they have all of Lost Belt 2, or Lost Belts that are massive. And you have all the main interludes. There is no need for filler in this game anymore, right? Like, at all. Like, quite the opposite. Like, you need to try to get people to the good shit. Yeah, I've heard Final Fantasy has done that, but I've heard from people that play that game that they haven't really removed enough of the filler, and there's still quite a bit of it. But it is nice that they actually look at that and are like, okay, let's try to clean some of this up if we can, because I think more games need to do that. Yeah, it's shocking to me how many games, and it's because it's a short-term thing. It's when you're looking at short-term quarterly gains, right? That's how this happens. Because in the very short term, right? Let's say the next banner for FGO, the next rated up servant, and the next event, the way for that to be successful and to make an immediate amount of money is for it to completely focus on veteran players. Because that's the bulk of your spenders right now. However, in the long term, that is just not going to work. Because if you keep focusing on just your veteran players and just the short term, you're going to lose players over time. You're going to just naturally, regardless of what you're doing for a game, all games are going to lose players over time. You know, people get old, people get bored, people move on, people change interests, people die. You know, you're going to lose players for all kinds of reasons. And you need to be able to bring in new players. And you need to attract new players consistently to keep your player base, you know, even the same size. You have to gain new people to maintain the same size. And a lot of games don't do that. They just keep focusing on the veteran players in the end game, just the latest thing over and over, and they just slowly dwindle. And as they do that, it gets harder and harder for new people to get into the game. And FGO is really fucking this up. And I mean, they're really fucking this up. And you know, it is so outrageously hard to get into FGO now. Not because, people always say, you see on like forums and stuff, people act like the reason it's hard to get into FGO is because it's like it's hard to get the match or the content gets too hard or whatever. No, it's none of that. You can get plenty of cool units quickly and all that stuff is not a problem. The reason why it gets so broken is because, you know, it's so boring, right? It's so boring to deal with the early game. It's so boring to, you know, get far enough into the game. And even when you get farther in the game, you get to Lost Belt 6 and there's still filler in Lost Belt 6. There's a massive amount of filler in Lost Belt 6. Do you notice how outrageously unnecessary that is? Like, it's ridiculous, right? It's absolutely ridiculous to put out new content in this game and have a bunch of filler in it, right? There's no need. It really doesn't matter if you miss welfares because they're always adding new welfares that are going to help you out. Like, the rate that they add new welfares, you know, is pretty much always going to match your needs. And so that's not really a problem. I mean, sure, it's more annoying than anything to miss an old unit, but the default units are more than good enough. And I think I've proven that time and time again with me always making new accounts and beating it with the default roster and over again. The only time it's a problem is when you like a welfare and you don't get them. And it's like, yeah, some welfares do make the game easier, of course, but I don't think any of them are even remotely necessary. Like, not even close. Like, no offense to Kentucky or anything, but there's no world where Kentucky is necessary. It's more like Rider Kentucky is cool and fun. But, I mean, Ushi and Ricky are more than enough for your Rider needs. Let me get water. Hold on a second. Also, I'm really not paying attention to the classes enough, and I might walk into a boss and not realize it. But I'm just kind of looking out for Saber Berserker. But there's a glimmer of hope between DW and changing hands and them actually adding a safety net. It's not necessarily a good chance, but I think there definitely is a chance that they're going to start, you know, working on fundamental stuff, like an account system, a better early game experience. But if there's one thing I could communicate to DW, it's you need to make your new player experience better. And when I say that, I don't mean giving them free 5 stars. I don't mean allowing them to blitz through the story faster. I mean make the game better. Make the early game better. Make sure they're having fun. Make sure when you fight Saber Altered, like, oh damn, this is cool, right? And like when they beat it, like, oh yeah, I beat a big boss, right? That's what you want. You want people having a good experience from the get-go. You know, trying to rush people through the game does not make people have fun. Like, fun. Add more fun to your game, for God's sakes. Because the thing is, they even know how, they just don't implement it properly, right? Because they have made a lot of boss fights that are fun, and a lot of, you know, like the bonus floors in the recent tower event, right? Like, that was good stuff, right? They know how to make fun content. They just don't know how to pace it, they just don't know how to, you know, deal with the... I honestly think they just don't want to put in development time and they're looking at, like, Orleans and be like, okay, what can we cut, what can we remove, how can we get rid of padding, how can we twist the stats to actually match how players are actually statted for Orleans, you know, and I don't know if they actually sit down and play their own game, make a new account, and go, okay, what level am I by Orleans? When I get to Jalter, what is my level right now? Like, what does the boss need to be for it to be an engaging experience? Right? I don't think they do that, but I think they need to, very much so. Yeah, Septim's pretty bad. If they were going to remove something, that would be the one I would pick, but I would still rather they fix Septim than just remove it. And even if the story sucks, if you could at least make the gameplay interesting, I'd be happy enough. But unfortunately, we're going to be stuck with it as it is for a while, even if you decided to change it, because I don't think I don't know if they're going to decide to change it, but even if they did, I don't think it would be until the company switched over and you know, some money started flowing and that kind of thing. There's kind of structural changes that are going to take a while. Alright, let's see what chapter we're on, because if I remember correctly, Orleans was 19 chapters, so we can kind of see. Because I know there's a lot of boss fights at the end of Orleans, so we can kind of figure out how close we are to the boss spam based on chapters here. Well, there's not a lot of archers here. Yeah, I don't think... here's the thing. New players shouldn't really worry about if you can do an event or not. It doesn't really matter because there's so much for new players to do that have nothing to do with events anyway. Like, it's just not very relevant. However, I still see no reason to event lock anything. Now, by all means, if you want to make an event and it's aimed at veterans and it's going to be hard, that's fine. If anything, that's what events should be for. Like, the main story needs to be a good, awesome experience. That should be for new players. And also the story, listen to me, the main story should be giving you enough, like, mats and skill gems and things like that, that you don't need to do an event to catch your servants up. Right? You should be like, oh man, this main story is just so like time efficient. I get so much good stuff out of it. So for getting new players like loot and, you know, void dust and bones and skill gems, the main story should be doing that, right? Through and through. Like, so they shouldn't even care about doing an event or not. Events should, in my opinion, mostly be aimed at players that have finished the main story. Right? Once they're done, it's like, okay, here's something new to do. Right? Like, now that you're done, now you can do this. Right? That's what it should be mostly aimed at. However, you know, there's no reason to control your players that much and force them to play that way. Maybe someone just doesn't want to do the main story, right? I mean, they don't like it, you know, and they're really interested in the event instead, and they'd rather do that. So let them. So I don't think there's any reason to event lock any event, even if there are spoilers, which I have like never seen an event that spoils anything. If you played that Veach event, it doesn't spoil anything. Like, who cares? You can guess what's gonna happen with Veach and fucking the epilogue of God, for God's sakes. It's so, who gives a shit? So what you just do, and they've already done this. They've literally done this, so I don't know why it isn't the standard. Well, also, why is this grass floating right here? This is clearly floating. That's not connected to anything. This grass is just floating. What the hell? 10 out of 10 Unity assets. Anyway, they've already had events where if you go to start it, it'll warn you. If you haven't beaten like Lost Belt 3, there's some minor spoilers here. Or if you haven't beaten Shimosa, there's some spoilers here. So proceed at your own risk. And if someone's like, oh, okay, I'll wait and I'll just do it, you know, I won't do it. That's fine. And if you're like, I don't give a shit, then they can do it. That's also fine. And if the event's too hard, you can also do like, you know, warn people like, okay, this event is kind of aimed at, you know, stronger accounts. And if you're a new player, this might be really difficult. But, so if they don't want to do it, then go to the story and that's fine. And if they want to try to do it or summon a friend to cheese it and solo a bunch of stages or whatever and get as much done as they can, that's also fine, right? I think events should be hard for the most part. Like, not every event, like, and you don't want the farming to like be, you know, grindy and stuff. But like, yeah, there should be some good content in every event. Stuff to, you know, give you a reason to level your servants, give you a reason to 10 your servants, give you a reason to, you know, of course, when I mean hard, I don't mean like fluffy. Like, of course not. Not everyone wants to be dealing with fluffy every 5 minutes. But I mean, it shouldn't matter that if you're like, oh, I like Hector and I want to get Hector to 10. When you fight an archer node, right? It should be worth a damn that Hector is 10, right? That kind of stuff. You know, you should have some boss fights like you saw in the Guda final event where there's some gimmicks and there's a reason to have a unit with sure hit, or there's a reason to, you know, have this or that. You know, give people something to work towards, right? Like, that's fine. And again, I think events should absolutely be aimed at veteran players. And then, like, I can't even fathom how many people are always saying how they think events should be aimed for new players. That's stupid. Like, I actually think that's stupid. Like, blatantly, what should be for new players is the main story. And the reason why people keep saying events need to be aimed at new players is because the main story is so bad and boring and long, and it doesn't give you that good of loot. And so the obvious fix isn't to band-aid fix it with a new event. The obvious fix is fix the fucking story, so new players are happy to go play the story and they're rewarded for it. That's the obvious fix here. Events are pretty like mixed. Like sometimes they're aimed at new players and sometimes they're not. You know, they're all over the place. But I don't think anybody wants to get into FGO and have their new player experience be grinding an event-free quest over and over. And then when they're done with that, they go do the main story, and now they're outrageously over-leveled for the main story, and the main story is super easy, and you're doing these... Look what I'm doing. I'm fighting wyverns and goblins and skeletons. Do I really need a bunch of level like 80 units from an event to do this? Is this going to be fun? Am I going to have fun with... Like, this filler is annoying enough as is, and if I over-level it, it's just boring. Right? Like, great. Right, so like, how about you cut out the filler and you go right to the like mostly go to the a little bit of trash, yeah, that's fine, but you mostly get to the goddamn bosses and the stuff that matters, and those bosses should be statted so it actually makes sense. All right, let's see here. What chapter are we on? No Berserker, so this ain't anything. Chapter 12. We're pretty far in. I mean, surely we're gonna have bosses coming up. I don't know what to summon here. I mean, Caligula's safe, it's just he's one of those units that has a terrible growth curve early game. And when you combine that with that craft essence not really having stats, he's kind of worthless. Maybe Billy in case the sabers make a problem, but he's gonna be bad with the lancers. Probably gonna be like a skeleton, I bet. So let's just go Berserker, because if you don't know what you're dealing with, at least it's not useless. Okay, Assassin is the one class that's not gonna have, and Saber. Assassin and Saber are the two classes that are not gonna ever have a problem. Go with Charlotte. And then Mash, and then a Berserker. There we go. I don't think this is a boss because I can't think of anything that would actually be a boss at this point in the game. Like, would that match these classes? I think D'eon and Vlad is next, and they don't match these classes at all. Alright, go get him. Yeah, FGO's events have gotten really stagnant, in my opinion, and really boring, and they're not handled very well. And when I look at it compared to Arknights, it's kind of embarrassing. But I think FGO is just in development hell right now, and so we're gonna have to just cut them some slack if we like it or not. You know, once they get their eggs in order, right? That's not the right phrase. Anyway, once their chickens in order, that's the way. Once they get, you know, shit settled and the company transfers and hopefully they get some new blood and, you know, they hire more people and those people get used to things, you know, once that's all done, if there's still shit in the bed, okay, then I'll be like, okay, this is a problem. But, you know, if we like it or not, you know, the company's clearly in kind of a weird spot, and it's going to be a while before they kind of get some of this stuff fixed. Because a lot of stuff's been phoned in for a while now, like a lot of stuff. A lot of the new server animations, the animation updates have been really slow. You know, there's been a lot of, you know, clear development problems. Multi-nickel company. Yeah, I get it, right? Yeah, they are an incredibly, you know, profitable game, and they shouldn't, you know, it never should have gotten to this point. You know, it's like... we shouldn't be having to make excuses for them. You shouldn't have to wait this long. A 7-year-old game makes an insane amount of money. They've got a publisher with an insane amount of money. There's no reason for it to be like this. but it's clear that this is what it is. I mean, it's really obvious from like ex-employees what they've said about it, with the soccer awards failing, right? It's really obvious that the company is in a really messed up place, and their workflow is trash. I mean, it's just obvious. If you compare this to any other modern mobile game, the workflow of FGO, the rate of new content, and the quality of animation and stuff, it has clearly got a troubled development process right now, especially because it's worse than it has been in the past, right? They've actually gotten slower and like less efficient than they have been in the past, so something is wrong, right? It's clearly something is wrong, and that's annoying and dumb for a company with that much money, but yeah, there's no amount of money can fix that kind of thing with a snap of a finger, right? Like there's always like a period you have to wait, and hiring and firing normally has like, you know, you have to have notice, and you know, company transfers take a long time and everything. It just is what it is. Those are practical realities of the industry, so they ain't fixing this quickly. I'd love to use a brave chain on a rider, but that thing has its NP, but I'm not even sure I can kill it. Okay, we'll do the star bomb, because it's got double attack up, so if it actually gets that attack off, it's gonna hurt. Please don't kill, like, Charlotte. That would really suck. Okay, she got it. 10k with the big knife damage. I mean, I do think DW sucks. I don't like to say that, but it's obvious. I mean, I've followed this company pretty closely for many years now, and it's quite obvious that they suck as a company and they make bad decisions. I mean, I'm sorry, look at Soccer Awards. That was all DW, that was completely up to them, and look at how bad that game was and how terribly run it was. That does not make me believe DW is a competent company that knows what they're doing, and I think it's complete copium to think otherwise. But they're not going to be... GW's not going to be in charge much longer, right? Even though some of the staff is transferring, the leadership is going to change. You know, the people that are, putting down the... how do you put it? The people that set the agenda, you know, are going to be different, and there's going to be different people in charge of hiring are going to be different. So hopefully, we're going to get away from that suckage, right? The problem is Aniplex sucks too, right? So Aniplex sucks too, but they have money, and maybe they'll hire people that know what they're doing. Because that happens. I mean, you'll see a lot of developers, like veteran industries, that have worked for these big companies, and a lot of times they'll be like, oh yeah, like that you know, EA sucked. But with what you try to do is sometimes is while working for this, you know, terrible company, EA or Activision or whatever, you try to put out a good piece of art anyway, and sometimes that does happen, so. It's like a lot of times directors for movies will be working for some soulless piece of shit studio, but they still manage to put out a good, you know, piece of film. Like I think that movie Joker, I think, had to deal with like really bad executives for years and years and years, and just like higher ups that had no idea what they were talking about. But through just so much work and effort, eventually they made them, you know, somewhat of a movie that they actually wanted to make that was successful, right? So sometimes you just got to, you know, you gotta hope the soulless companies put someone good in charge and they make something good, because it happens. I think EA has changed a lot over the years, because I remember like 10 years ago they used to have the worst reputation ever, and like their ex-employees were always ripping them. They got voted the worst company of the year several times. But I think over time they've gotten a little bit better. I don't think I would go as far to say they've gotten much better, but I think EA's gotten a bit better. And then everyone else has gotten worse. So so like they look better, right? Like Activision has become so evil over time, and you know, Ubisoft has become so evil over time. I think some of the other big gaming companies have just become so bad that in comparison, EA is not, you know, it's not too shit. I do think EA though actually has gotten a little bit better, and I think it's because they had to get a little bit better. Like when you look at what they were doing 10 years ago, I don't think they're quite that bad anymore. Like yeah, they're still mainstream, soulless nonsense, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily as stupid as they used to be. Yeah, some units aren't level 10 because things get great success and all that kind of stuff. Like I've said this like 30 times throughout this playthrough, there's no way to actually hit level 10. You can't. Because right now, not only do you randomly get great success or super success, there's literally a double great success thing going on right now. And I think a lot of people haven't played the low levels in a long time, and they don't realize you give a unit 1 XP card and they gain like 6 levels. And if a great success is the instantly, like you can't control this. So what we said is it's like you aim for level 10. If you know, get a little bit higher than that, it's not a big deal. So it's 10 to 15 essentially. Because if you're like level 8 and you get a great success, you know, you're probably going to go to 13, 14, 15. There's just, I mean, there is no way around that. Like, if someone else tried to play through what we're doing, they would realize so quickly why you can't make it exactly level 10. Like, you can't. Like, there's just no way. Like, for God's sakes, if you give someone full items, they'll level up when you're this low level. Like, there's just no way to actually make sure they stay at level 10. Now, because we said 10 to 15, we're not aiming for 15, right? Because then you might accidentally go to 16, 17, or 18 because of great success and things like that. Why is there so many classes? Like, what? I wonder if this is one of those, because I know there's some things in Orleans where you fight like 5 waves. I wonder if that's this. Because look at all these fucking classes. Jeez, okay. Well, there's surely gonna be like skeletons and dragons and... That's probably what it is different skeletons of different classes and dragons. That would be my guess. Okay, I'm gonna guess it's like that other stage where it was almost all dragons and just a little bit of other stuff. So, assassin good. Okay, I'm gonna guess the sabers are just gonna be like generic sabers early on. I should still spread out my assassins a little bit. Maybe throw in Romulus. Okay, let's do Mash early, because if it is like an endurance thing, that's good. I'm just scared there's gonna be sabers at the end if I... And I wonder how many archers there actually are. I'm assuming the archers are at the end because that's the way they've got it ordered, but they don't always follow that, like, to the letter. I'll do a berserker because with this much stuff, I don't know, maybe I should put a berserker in the front actually. Because this is a lot of weird classes. I just don't want to bring a berserker if it's like, yeah, there's a couple of skeletons and then it's dragon spam, because that's what I kind of feel like is happening. Hit Jekyll with the berserker. You know what, actually, let's put Jekyll in the front because the heal is actually good. Like, if this is one of those 5-wave things, the heal's pretty legit. Let's try that. Actually, let's give Romulus this and give her the quick one. And then Mash can die. I mean, get a lot of HP. Okay, nope, not gonna get a lot of HP. This, I mean, let's be real, chat. Mash is probably gonna die in this stage. Her odds of survival are suspect. Cairo. A random person added me to their friends list. It's exactly like our Garbo accounts. I wonder if someone else is just doing the same thing. What I've told people to do if they want to do the same thing is you follow us, and when you're doing the main story, because you can use followed units in 2.0 now. So just use us, you know, in the main story, and then you can't use us in events, because like me and Cairo are going to follow the same rules in events. But if you're wanting to play along, either add someone else from Discord that's doing the same thing and use them in events, or add yourself or a normal person for events and just kind of cheese the events, right? Because I think most people would be happy enough to cheese the events and then play this main story the way we are. So that's fine if people want to do it like that. But that's like the best way to play along if you want to. And you might be able to find someone else out there that wants to do the same thing and you just kind of partner with them like we're doing. And because this is a good time. I'm having a great time with this. Not the second, because this filler is getting kind of boring, but the boss fights have been great, actually. with how hard Fayuki and Orleans has been, I'm just so excited to see what Camelot in London and stuff like that's gonna be like. I'm very interested in that. Okay, I really care about NP gain. Yes, I have a feeling there's gonna be like the Lancers and Sabers and maybe even Archers are just gonna be like skeletons like this that aren't gonna do a damn thing. But we'll see.
いいだろう。そうだ。いっそ。
49 health. I would have been really happy if I killed that because then they would only have gotten 1 action per turn, which would have been great. Now I could kill the 49 health one because I'd get massive overkill NP gain, but that's a little too inefficient. Oh, it does have an attack up. Killing that. You know what? Maybe I should have killed that one because again, they'd go down to 1 action per turn. Or not action. Yeah, this is not ideal. Can you stop murdering Jinkei, please? Alright, we'll have Jekyll go for NP gain here, so he'll get overkill. Okay, that's not bad. There we go. Yeah, that was good. A lot of gain right there. We're gonna have to take this stage seriously though, because 5 waves is a lot. America has so much filler, dude. What level are we in America? I think we're 50. So I actually think Alter and Mev and all that, I think that'll be actually fun content. Like, absolutely. But there's so much filler in America, that's not gonna be fun. Okay, so I had a feeling there were gonna be a lot of riders. Because that's what they did last time. This art chain. Probably not going to transform though until we maybe aren't fighting a rider. Last enemy might actually be like a tougher zombie or skeleton or something. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Orleans has a couple of stages like this where you fight a stupid amount of enemies. They kind of just forgot about this gimmick until way later in the game. They didn't start doing like more creative gimmicks again until like Lost Belts, really. Okay, that one is double crit buff. That one I think needs to go. I'm gonna cast this. I almost want to NP it, but until I identify like a really tough enemy, I feel like I should save it. Okay, good, he's dead. That's good. Although with 5 waves, Jinkei might have been able to NP and then NP again. Especially because we have an art chain right here. Let's go for 200% on Jekyll if we can. Oh no. Cairo, are you still here? There's no way you've done his NP upgrade yet. Like, of course not. He's so bad. His NP is like 20% buster up. Oh my god, at least at this level though, the heal's kind of good. Like when you're this low, the heal is actually kind of relevant. Holy crap, that's so bad. Yeah, he still gets the max HP up as well. So there is good in there, but there's a lot of bad in there too. Oh, more dragons. I had a feeling we were gonna do this. Quick chain, maybe?
Super. Oh.
They are getting whittled down, but Jekyll can just reset himself essentially. Wish I had Leonidas. Maybe someday. Cairo, how far did you get? Because I was watching your VOD yesterday, but I only watched up to where I was, and I saw that you kept going for a while. So how far did you finish? Okay, a lot of sabers here. Nope. So we had the last wave must be the archer because we've never seen an archer. So what do I do here? I really want to make sure Jekyll doesn't die, but I don't want to transform yet. think I art chain real quick.
使命
Because that gets me towards 200%.
いけます宝具
I'm at the chapter right at the castle. Okay. I'm gonna try to beat it today though, because next time you stream, you're obviously gonna beat it. So I think it's fine if I go ahead and beat it and just wait. Okay, they don't do much damage while we've got Mash's buffs, so I don't need to worry too much. I wouldn't mind transforming though the turn before we go to the last wave. That seems like a good idea. Okay, that one's got double attack buff, so he needs to die. Bap, bap, bap. Oh crap, yeah, you might kill it. Shit. I can't wait to be able to go to level 20. I can't believe I'm even saying that, but oh, I totally forgot about that. I don't even know why, because we always make fun of the fact that Atalante is in Orleans, and no one remembers that. Okay, let me think. I completely forgot about that. I just totally forgot about that. Kyra, did you forget about that too? I kind of suspect you did, because I did not remember this at all. Yes, yeah, okay. This is kind of a problem, because on the one hand, I don't want to kill the riders and then have Atalante get all the actions per turn. But on the other hand, I don't want to leave the riders alive and have them murder my units in the back. 38k. What do I pay? Romulus is in the back. That's good. I'm not sure it's good enough, though. We need to transform. I think we NP this guy, and then we start using Jekyll on Atalante. Just don't kill me, like, right now, please. Okay. She is gonna kill herself, though, because she's kind of an idiot like that. Big overcharge. Yep, she's gonna go down to 700 health because of her NP, so she's gonna die any second. But I figure we need to make sure the riders are at least not gonna be a huge threat for our units in the back. This NP is actually really cool though. Like, there's no NP in the game like that. It's so unique. It is such a shame that he's got day one animations. Also, I like how he's not alter ego because they made alter ego later on. Don't make no sense. Alright, big attack buff. Mash with the crit though. Alright, alright. Hyde doing some damage right there. Maybe I should have given him the attack buff from the Mystic Code. If he had a Brave Chain, I definitely would have. I could heal Gen-K, but I don't think it's worth it. I would like Gen-K to live one more turn, if we can get lucky. Ouch. Barely, okay. Even the rider can kill her now. He did like 250 damage or something. Even if she doesn't kill it, as long as it's low, it's fine. Almost. Oh! Fuck! I forgot! What is wrong with me? Yeah, archers, god damn it! Well, that's not good. Should've used the evade, by the way. We just wasted Hyde right there. What do we got here? Well, it's really up to Romulus at this point. Romulus has got a big boy crit there. You know what? Even though it's only one crit, I might give him the attack up. Just take the damage right. Yeah, crits are good. Alright, we need to kill quick. I can give Romulus the evade if she inties again though, so I think we're in good shape. Ooh. What are you double critting for? God damn, lady. Calm down. Hit the other units, please. Romulus with the run back there, though. These are our last 3 units, so if someone dies, we're in real trouble. Okay. I think Salome can clean up. What is she doing? Dude, she does not care for Romulus. You know what? She gets the giant tree. That's what she gets for this. Over here attack spamming Romulus, not like in Rome. Okay. Get that out of here. Boy, that could have gone really bad. That really could have gone bad with me. I completely forgot about Atalante, so we almost walked into our death there. That's it, and then she's dead. And it's because they didn't know how to write APOC servants back then, so they always made sure that they didn't actually have any characterization. That is such a clear thing in early FGO, by the way. If you look at how all their bios are and how minimal their role in any story is, they're like trying to make sure they don't have to actually represent the characters from the APOC book. And I'm serious. I think it's because DW back then could not be asked to read the books of APOC. Like I'm very confident that's the reason why APOC is like so lightly represented in FGO and their bios are so messed up. And you have stuff like Vlad being, you know, warped instead of like his actual self. And it's because they won FGO, it wasn't a successful game back then, and it was supposed to be shovelware and stuff, so they was like, well, of course we're not going to put in the effort to read a book. Oh, alright, let's see if, yep, someone else has added me too. Look at, oh my god, yep. I wonder if this is the same person, because look at this, they've, yeah, I think he's playing through the game, doing this with the same stuff, and he picked Lion King as his 5-star. Well, good for him. I hope he's having a good time. Looks like he got Steno from his tutorial summon just like I did. So yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I hope he's having a good time. I hope he just follows us though. That's the best way to do it, is to follow. But yeah, it looks like he's in Orleans right now. Yeah, good for him. Hope he has a good time. Okay. This is a million classes again. Okay, I see Berserker and Saber. So this could be D'eon and Vlad. Because I thought that was the next boss fight, but I forgot about Atalante. So I'm gonna guess this is that, because Berserker is not something we've been using up to this point. So I think this is Vlad and D'eon. And I guess just trash mobs before that. Let me think. So Vlad needs to die first, 1,000,000%. Always kill the Berserker first. He is single target, unlike the previous ones like Lancelot and stuff, but still, he needs to die first. So our cleanup needs to be an archer, and I don't really have good archers. Let's see, Billy versus what I have. Let me look. Who's got the better early game stat curve? It's crazy how impactful that is right now. Okay, William Tell, not so hot with the early game stat curve. Look at this. Look, he is so behind. He has less health and significantly less attack. Kid Gil actually looking pretty good, and so does Billy. I wonder how many foe items you've got. Not a lot. Oh, good chunk on the attack, actually. I think Billy's okay for a cleanup. His first skill is charisma though, which is pretty nice actually. But let's give it to Billy. We'll let him do cleanup on D'eon, and I might bring a second. Archer anyway. Yeah, I know. It's so sad because Jason falls off really hard. But look at this. Jason doesn't even have foe items, and he's light years ahead of Gilius. But yeah, that'll change so fast. Once you get a little bit higher, Gilius is actually gonna floor Jason. Yeah, Jason's actually pretty good early game because a lot of heals early game are kind of busted because your health is so low. Alright, there are Lancers here, but I'm expecting it not to be a big deal, so I don't think I need to worry about counterclassing that stuff. I want to focus on good anti-Berserker. So, Charlotte, because she's got an evade. Maybe Mash, we'll see. For nuking, Jinkei's okay. I don't have anyone at a high NP rank right now, though. God, the original Fate Stay Night soundtrack, or the Dean Stay Night anime soundtrack is so good. Like they nailed the vibe like so well. And I feel like Fate has kind of slowly lost its identity over time. They've gotten so focused on being weird for the sake of being weird. Like when you look at like, you know, the old stuff in the Fate verse, not just Fate Stay Night, but like APOC and all that, you know, it had a pretty specific aesthetic and vibe, and I really think they've lost it over time. And it's kind of sad, to be honest. Trying to think what my most efficient stuff is for killing a berserker. This I like this. I like this. And then we'll do mash. Maybe that. And then probably two archers to be safe. Now, I actually want to get Jinkei's NP, so probably that one. Either that one or this one. Probably this one just because I actually kind of like that it gives me health right now, which is ridiculous. I only feel that way early game. But early game, 500 health is actually nice. And it'll make sure I get my NP in time. Now, if I get her NP, I'm happy, but it's not that big of a deal. I could give him this, so he gets that big HP boost, and he might even face tank an NP. Wait a minute, D'eon's NP doesn't do damage. Okay, never mind on that one. I don't know what I want to give her. Even Fate Extra though, although Fate Extra is kind of weird with all the space vibe and all that, it still very much is like Fate in space. They still, like if you look at like the way look at how they used to handle Nero. Like seriously, look how Nero is handled in Fate Extra versus how Nero is handled in literally anything else, right? And it's way better in Extra, right? And it way more has like that kind of vibe that I'm talking about from like Fate Stay Night and APOC and Fate Zero and that early stuff. Like the aesthetic is obviously kind of different with the space stuff and all that, but I think Extra is actually a really good example of them still sticking to their roots but doing something different, right? Like when you just look at like all the stuff with Buddha and all that, like it really is still sticking to its roots. It's just with a twist. It's sticking to the roots with a twist. And then now it's just a twist. I don't know if I want to go for her NP or not. I feel like it's a lost cause if I do. And like the team cost is pretty extreme on some of this stuff. I could give this though to Jinkei. Man, if she got her NP with that, she'd take out Vlad pretty quick. But it'd be really hard to get her NP that way. I don't know how much trash there is. If it's 5 waves, then I should do that. But if it's not 5 waves, I probably shouldn't. You know what? We'll live a little. We'll see what happens here. Don't quite have the team cost for that. Alright. Billy and Kid Gil, the blonde boys, gonna be doing cleanup here. Yeah, the server universe is really stupid. Honestly, Fate has just gotten so stupid. Now, no, I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but I feel like the Fate universe is stupid when Type Moon is involved. But like when other writers make a book for the Fate universe, they normally give it more respect than Type Moon does anymore. Like Fate Strange Fake is great, right? Like I think that sticks pretty well, right, to like the core stuff. And like there was an interview not too long ago with Nasu, and he was basically in a roundabout way saying he's bored of doing normal stuff with Fate, so that's why they don't do it anymore. And I'm like, oh great. Okay, Jinkei needs to do everything possible to get her NP. Okay, these guys don't hit hard enough, so I'm not gonna do the evade yet. I'm gonna throw this out though and see if I just get a bullshit crit here. Although I probably should have done it. I should have done it next turn because she doesn't have her. Oh man, I messed up. because she doesn't have her art card yet. And I'm gonna do a quick change. So the quick change to extra 5 stars would have been like a really nice chance for the art card to crit. I think if Nasu doesn't want to do Fate stuff right now and he'd rather work on other stuff, that's totally fine and understandable. The best thing to do though is to then work on other stuff, right? And then like, you know, let Face Change Fake do its thing and that kind of thing. Just because the Grail Wars like kind of messed up doesn't mean Fates wasn't normal and didn't have a normal, because there's such an obvious theme between Fates Night, Fate Zero, you know, even APOC, you know, those like the kind of aesthetic and character development they would have and the way they handled backstory and character designs were pretty consistent, honestly, with a few minor exceptions, but that's what exceptions prove the rule, like hello? And now it's like everything's an exception and it's just kind of silly. Alright, please don't kill it. Don't kill it. There you go. I should have done the Buster card, actually. Okay, it's 3 waves. I only now actually bothered to look. Alright, we got our NP. Actually, I'm gonna do Buster Art, because that's all I need. Yeah, smash you, that's what I'm talking about. Now we only get 1 action per turn. If I can kill this, I should evade now. I can probably kill that. Maybe I give Charlotte the NP battery from that. Let's see. You'd have to get more NP still. And like, Artoria is one of the only good gender bends in my opinion because they put effort into it. It really matters that she's a woman and it changes her story a lot and it's like interesting and well developed. And she's also not Arthur. She is Artoria, who's pretending to be Arthur. And then they actually made Arthur. So there's like no problem here, right? You got Arthur, you got this other character, you know, and like them being a gender bend was relevant to the story in a pretty significant way. Where a lot of the other gender bends are like, yeah, we like boobs. Okay, Vlad has to die. He's only got 35k. That's not bad. Like Lancelot had more than that. So we can handle this. Alright, time to go bang bang. Sadly, Jin K is about to delete herself, but kinda is what it is. We'll do the quick chain. Oh, chat right now. Okay, he's got his defense buff. And Jin K is now in the Shadow Realm. That was like 2,800 damage. This is why Vlad has to die. You cannot suffer a Berserker to live in the early game, right? Like you can't, like, Lancelot, Kiyohime, Vlad, they have got to die. Like they just do way too much damage. Okay, what do we got here? I can NP on Charlotte, but I'm not sure we need it. Got some okay damage here. I may have lied. Oh, I lied! We should have NP'd. Thankfully, we've got a lot of defense this turn. I don't know what D'eon is doing. Throwing, I think. Well, I might as well save it now. Alright, Vlad deleted. Thankfully the evade and the invulnerability really helped us out deal with that burst damage. Wow, that hurt. D'eon, can we not do that? No point in healing though, we got archers in the back. Man, Charlotte and Salome don't have a whole lot in common. Pasta, that's a name of a man at arms right there. Okay, we're not doing anything this turn. Neither is Charlotte, because Charlotte's dead. Okay, NP time. Sadly, we could, if he didn't evade, we could shred him. We could charisma brave chain with Kid Gil. He's got a pretty high attack stat right now. Wow, Kid Gil needs an animation update. His attacks are okay. It's his sprite. No land charm, please. You don't even have your upgraded NP, so the chance is even lower. Okay. Debuff hell though. How are you doing that much damage to an archer? Oh, I'm worried. Chat, I'm worried. I felt really confident until I saw that. And now we've attacked down and he has defense up, so we're not doing any damage. Look how little damage we're doing. That's a berserker. Oh. Wow. I think we're about to lose, chat. Oh, shit. He's just doing so much damage, and look at all these defense ups and evade. This is ridiculous. This is bullshit. Oh, this is bullshit. Billy, we need help. Billy, why don't you have your second skill? They would be so good right now. I mean, D'eon doesn't have that much health left, but I have a feeling there's more evades to come. Okay, Mash is dead. Kid Gil's about to die. Billy's got a brave chain. No buster card though. And he doesn't have charisma, so I think we do this. Charisma with the first card buster bonus is a pretty big deal, honestly. Ooh! Alright! Oh. Chat, we win, but this was a little close. This was a little close. I actually think we would have won without the crit there, just because we got a brave chain right there, and that probably is gonna overkill by more than that crit did. But still, wow, D'eon was much harder than I thought because of the defense down, attack down with his defense up and evade. He was tanky. Old servants don't evade when they're low on health. Old servants literally cast their survival skills at random. And because of that, they can cast them like 5 times in a row, and it's unbelievably annoying. But they're not more likely to do it when they're about to die, so. That's something they changed. We're on it. Now, they still do some weird AI sometimes where they might like evade spam or whatever, as like they're just set to do that. But by default, most things now will use their survival skills when they're low on health, like 50% or lower, stuff like that. Assassin, Lancer. Assassin could be Sanson, because I know you fight him more than once. Or CARMILLA. Yeah, it could be Sanson or CARMILLA. We're in the desert now, so I think this is the boss spam. Well, I have no idea if it's Sanson or CARMILLA, but it's the same class either way, so probably time to dual wield Anastasia. I'm assuming the trash mobs are weak again. No, I'm not grailing Kid Gil. It's not worth it. No offense. But he's just, like, there's no way. If I was gonna grail an archer, it would be probably Billy. Because Billy has a survival skill. That's way better for, like, strong arming something. Kid Gil will be useful, for sure. Because he does have decent stats for a low star, and he's got charisma, but that's just fine at 70. There's no need to take it beyond that. William Tell's tempting because it's unique, but he's just, I mean, he's only good when the enemies have evade. That's not a smart grail pick in my opinion. I don't know though, we might have more grails than I'm thinking. We'll see. Especially if we do Epic of Remnant first. I couldn't speak for a second there. But yeah, Epic of Remnant gives you more grails, so. Alright, if it is, do I want to start with the casters just to build them up? Guys, let me just bring that single target caster that exists. Let me just do that real quick. Are we dual wielding Anastasia, or do I not want her to get beat up? Her early game stat line is not the most impressive thing I've ever seen. I feel like 120 is unbelievably inefficient for the restrictions that are in place on these accounts. The only reason I would take Cairo, are you here? Because this is worth talking about. Because the only way I would think it would be worth it to take someone to 120 is if we think any of the available servants at 120 would be strong enough to be a good DPS for Fluffy. That's literally the only. Let me look here. Are any of these, do I think, good enough? Maybe Billy. Honestly, I think, what is the best DPS for Fluffy here? None of these are good DPS for Fluffy. None of them are. But the best is probably Billy. So maybe 120 Billy, just because that is our only snowball chance in hell at beating Fluffy. But even then, I think we'd get destroyed. And that's just so much XP, and it's so many grails, and it's so many coins. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's a long way off. I don't think I have another caster. So maybe Kid Guild to give charisma to. That's too much team cost, I feel. Honestly, I might go with less units so I can have a better CE. I may be underestimating the trash, but I think it's okay. I think this is the best I can do here. I mean, having fought Fluffy a lot, it's pretty easy to know what's good for Fluffy or not. It honestly is not complicated to know if a unit's good for Fluffy. Like, do you have outrageous damage or survivability? If the answer is no, you're not a good unit for Fluffy. That's really all there is to it. Like, Fluffy is not a complicated boss, it's just the most ridiculous stat check of all time. Also, don't be debuff based. That's normally not good either. Also, having anti-berserker and stuff like that is obviously good. Having niche, like anti-divine, anti-super large, those things help. But it, like Arthur, for example, he's anti-super large, but he has no survivability and he doesn't have outrageous damage, so he's not that great there. Yeah, Cairo, I think you missed it, but I was talking about if there's anyone on the list, who is the best unit on the list that's allowed for Fluffy? Like, who's the best DPS on the list for Fluffy? And I think it's Billy. And that means Billy might be the only unit that we might want to consider taking to 120, because that might be the only way we actually have a chance of beating Fluffy. And even then, I'm not sure we have a chance of beating Fluffy because our supports are so bad. Like, our supports are truly trash for Fluffy. That's so fucked. It is fucked, but, you know, that's what we're in for, so... Like, I really do think Billy is the best DPS there, unless I'm forgetting something. Is there anyone that's even, like, close to Billy that has anti-berserker as a passive, as a third passive? Because unfortunately, if Billy had anti-berserker, I'd actually say Billy's in really good shape. But Billy's got anti-rider, unfortunately, so not as good. Baldy is unbelievably bad there. And Baldy having a regular evade would not make him good there. I can't even begin to go over the reasons why Baldy is bad in that fight. Like, he is so bad in that fight. That is one of the worst picks imaginable. Even if he had a regular evade, that is not going to fix anything. Like, you never want to use a unit like that. Like, you know, Orion maybe, because Orion actually does way more damage and has debuff immunity and that kind of thing. But Baldy is terrible there. Like, absolutely terrible. He needs so much ramp up time. It's so random when you have damage, so like you're not going to be able to control the whole curse thing. Normal card damage is bad there, unless you have like just an unbelievable amount of it, which he does not generally. Like, he's a terrible fucking pick for that fight. Sure hit does nothing. All of his stuff does nothing there. Like, there's literally nothing good about Baldy in that fight. There's not a single thing in his toolkit that is actually beneficial in that fight. Oh, don't worry guys, he's insta-death immune. Great. Charlotte has anti-berserker passive. Oh god. 120 Charlotte versus Fluffy. She's got some survival. Cairo, here's what we need. Cairo, here's what we need. We need Charlotte to get buffed before we make it to Lost Belt 6. And then we need a 120 Charlotte with her third passive. Actually, it's not that hard to get at least one passive on low stars. That's not too hard. It's either that or Billy. Either that or Billy gets buffed. Billy or Charlotte needs to get buffed before we make it to Lost Belt 6. That's what we need. What are Charlotte? Can someone tell me what Charlotte's stats are when she's like 2k foed and 120? What's her attack and health? Because it needs to be a lot of health. Otherwise, she'll just die too fast. AoE servants aren't gonna work. Like, no way. Yeah, there's a lot of annoying fights coming up, but Fluffy is obviously the biggest problem. Zeus is actually a pretty big problem too, actually. I think Demeter is gonna be okay though. I think the bare bones riders we got, if we level every rider that's available, I think we can do it. It's gonna be scuffed as hell, and we might need to get a little lucky, but I think that's gonna be doable. $12k HP, oh no, 12k attack, 13k HP. At 120, 2k foe? Really that low? I don't think 13k health's enough. That's crazy, 1-star life. I bet you, what's Billy? Because I bet you Billy's a good bit more than that. Like, a lot of people look up the stats and they forget about foes, and that's actually what they report. But I think Ross actually factored in foes, so that's pretty, like, yeah, that's like high enough stats to be a usable unit, right, for most content, right? Like, that really is. But like, this is Fluffy we're talking about. Billy's 13k attack, I'm assuming, is 17k HP. That's way better. That's way better. 17k HP is actually decent. Yeah, that's decent. Like, Billy looking better. If Billy had anti-berserker, I actually think he would be like such a good pick. Okay, it's Sanson first. I guess I kind of thought it was CARMILLA, but I know you fight Sanson more than once, so. All right, what are we doing? Got our Buster up on Geronimo. Clearly, that's the good stuff. Right. Big Geronimo overcharge. Nah, Serenity should not be on that list. Like, look at Jin K and look at Serenity. Which one of these do you think is gonna make the list? Jin K being better than Serenity. Oh boy, that's a time. And yeah, Serenity sucks because she does debuffs, so. Having anti-berserker does not matter when you debuff the shit out of the boss. Now the boss one-shots everyone. Like, oh great. And she has 0 survivability. Like, Serenity is such a bad pick. You could literally double her anti-berserker passive and she would still be a terrible fucking pick for that boss. She has no survivability. All she does is debuff. So now, not only does the boss hit harder, but she has no way to, like, survive it. Like, she'll die on turn 1 half the time. Like whoop-de-doo.
行きます。了解です。はい。わかった。
Wow, we actually shredded this.
死んで。
Like, Sanson's already fucked up.
シス
We'd have to get like NP5 Yuri pirates. And even then, I don't know about
テム。行
that.
きます。わかった。ええ。死んで。
Fluffy is gonna be so bad, and unless we have like the best team possible, we can only try it every 3 days. Because we're gonna have to use CS. Absolutely. So you only get a real try. So what you do is you keep resetting until you get a good attempt. You don't use CS like on your first attempt. You wait for a good setup, then you do it. I didn't think we save. No, we don't save Geronimo because she's about to get her NP again. No, I can save Geronimo too, though. Yeah, that's fine.
頑張ります。
Save everybody. I mean, servants with a lot of debuffs are almost never worth it unless you have good supports. Like, if you watch videos, the only times you see servants with lots of debuffs doing well, I did not get into that. That's good. That would have been really bad if we had. Anyway, it's if you have supports that allow you just to win immediately, and they have enough survivability, so like it doesn't matter that the boss is doing more damage. But that's never going to happen on a budget account, let alone an account like these. So it's completely unapplicable. Like massive debuff spam is never good for not these accounts, just for a normal like free-to-play account. It's never good. The only debuffs that are kind of okay is if people have massive attack down, because then they kind of pay for themselves, like Sitting Master.
了解です。行きます。
Wow, this was actually quite easy compared to D'eon and Vlad. This was much easier. We haven't even lost a unit yet. Now, this skeleton could kill somebody, but doesn't look like it.
はい。
That
了解
was
です。
that was cake.
やー。倒れて。戦闘終了。なんとかなりましたね。
The best budget unit in the entire game for Fluffy is Ku. It's not even close. And I actually think Ku is the only 1 to 3 star that is actually a good idea to use as a DPS. And that's why every budget video for Fluffy generally uses him. Or they do like Robin. Robin's good too. Robin's good too because Robin can just get... Robin has the best like pinnacle damage of the low stars. So Robin and Ku are definitely the best ones. And which one is better really depends on what you have available on your account. But I do think overall Ku is the best way for most players to deal with that. And if you're including any unit though, then it's probably Enkidu. I think in Enkidu or MHXX, if you're like needing to get carried, yeah, that's true. Robin can use Castoria. That is true. And that actually might make Robin better when I think about it. It depends. It depends. But yeah, Robin, that is really big. Because you have to have Castoria, like she's gonna be on the team one way or the other, and yeah, getting the benefit from that is good. Yeah, Ku, Robin, those are your budget options. Like fuck everything else. And then you got for non-budget, you got any foreigner obviously. Those aren't necessarily the best, but they'll do okay. MHXX is extremely good. Enkidu is extremely good. Some of the Avengers are really good because Avengers really fuck up Berserkers. Actually, most of the Avengers actually can work there to a pretty reasonable degree. There's a couple other servants out there that have niches that do well. Alright, this is either Sanson again or CARMILLA. I'm assuming it's CARMILLA because I think you fight Sanson again, like, pretty far in. It's like Shadow Sanson, he's kind of gone nuts or something. Unless I'm crazy, but pretty sure that happens. Either way, it's an assassin fight, so it won't make a difference. A lot of classes here again, though. Okay, CARMILLA had dragons with her last time. I wonder if they do that again, because that'd actually be really cancer, because then your casters are going to have a bad time. If they do that, I actually kind of want to Berserker maybe, or you just start with assassins, kill the riders, then clean up a caster. That seems decent. Do Jin K, Charlotte, If only Charlotte was a 3-star, man. If Charlotte was a 3-star, she'd be a viable DPS for Fluffy, I feel. The 1-star stats, man, they don't do so hot. I've used like this setup right here and then the cleanup class in the back quite a few times, but it's been working out. If I bring another caster, how well do I think these are gonna do? I mean, the riders actually might be at the start of the stage. And if that's the case, I don't even need to do what I'm doing. I'll do that. I think it's okay. Can't do a lot with her here. Alright, good enough. I wish those were limit broken, but better than nothing. What would make Fluffy more reasonable is if we allowed Asclepius. That would help. But yeah, he's not on the list right now. Okay, Mash. So you're excited to do a stage here. You would have to reset to get even one incident on Fluffy so many times. I mean, you'd have to reset for like days, and you'd only get one insta kill. That's 1 bar. Like, that would never even be remotely viable. You're probably never going to get 2. There was a guy that did that with some big bosses though, where he reset the thing that's on over and over and over and over and over, and he eventually got it. Steno alone can't even come close to cheesing the Knights of the Round. Like, not even close. Doesn't work that way at all. Doesn't do any damage, and she doesn't have that much uptime on Charm. What allows you to cheese it is if you're using Steno and Uriel, because this is something people really just don't understand. Like, and I've seen studies by scientists that show that the human brain is like, it's so bad at understanding exponential growth. Like, it's a fundamental thing about the human mind. It doesn't understand exponential growth, right? And I've always said this way with Coup, right? Having multiple survival skills makes each survival skill better because they play off of each other, right? It's exponential growth, same thing. Like, 100 Face, because her evade is only a 5-turn cooldown, it's better than normal, and she has a really short cooldown and a massive heal. That makes both of those skills better because they buy time for each other. So you end up using them both way more times than you would if you only had 1, right? It's the same thing with Charm. If you have 2 units that Charm, both of those units Charm is infinitely more effective now. So like, Steno alone really is not gonna like crowd control a boss very much, even if they are charmable. You're gonna charm like 2 times, maybe 3 times, that's it. That's it, and you're doing 0 damage while you're at it. Where if you've got like 2 units that charm, each charm is buying more time for the other unit's charm to come back. And so you're gonna use both of the unit's charms even more, which means you use both of them even more, right? Like, it's crazy. But one unit with like Steno with charm is not, there's no world where you're stun locking a boss, like not even close. Like, sure, she can be helpful, like absolutely, but there's no world where she's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna murder the boss. Like, that's not a thing. But again, she does 0 damage. Even 2 Stenos. Now you have 2 units doing 0 damage. Great. And Cairo doesn't have Steno. Yeah, Cairo, just roll a specific 4-star and story summon, forehead. You got that. Yeah, 2 Stenos I don't think is even a good idea because you're doing no damage. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, Uriel's broken because she's stalling and doing damage. And again, Cairo doesn't have Steno, so it's not even remotely relevant. Just use Fan on me. There you go. There's your damage. Like, one Steno, though, will be good for some of the knights, for sure, but it is not going to be an easy win at all. Although, Billy, I'm not too worried about Gwaine because of Billy. Like, I think that's good enough that we can make it work. I mean, yeah, it's going to be level 60 Billy, but still. Alright, kill the riders first. I think I just do Jinkei's NP here. Let's see what happens. Because I want to make the stars.
ここより己の死は恐れず生も求めずただ殺めるのみ静か
So the Kanet CD should be great on Q since you can stall even more for his cooldowns to come back, right? Don't make me explain this again. You know exactly why that's not true. Don't make me fucking explain this again. Yeah, like he knows that half the time PFA is back off cooldown just sitting there, but you can't recast it because you haven't gotten through Kane's CD and the original evade, so now you're just whiffing the cooldown, right? He knows that! He knows that! Like, yeah, sometimes that's not the case, but normally it is, especially if you have taunt walls. God, anyway, what are we doing here? Okay, Jinkei, wait, did she not, what? She didn't kill the dragon with her NP. So then she didn't hit the other, and Carmilla already has her NP. Oh joy, this is going great. I actually think I saved MASH, just because I don't really see the point in saving anybody else right now. I'm getting a little bit worried about Carmilla NP spamming here. See, Carmilla also heals. Charlotte is not going to kill that rider in one hit. I'm going to do that and hope that then her other extra and the quick is going to hit Carmilla. She's not doing 9k. She's not doing that. Okay, I could have done quick NP. That might have worked. Yeah, okay. Good damage, Charlotte. I mean, she did kill it, but didn't hit Carmilla any. Although Carmilla would have just healed it back, I think. How does one function with nails that long? Like, how would you pick up a cup? How do you open it? Like that's ridiculous. Like that is ridiculous. Carmilla, please get a fucking nail clippers. Jesus. Okay, nobody's dead. Big Charlotte damage here. Oh yeah, she gets that attack up after her NP. Oof. Can art chain, but let's be honest, they're not living long enough to NP again. I would love them not to die here so they eat the NP before my caster shows up. Damn it! Do I evade Geronimo? It's so bad if Geronimo dies here, but I think I have to risk it and not evade him yet. Don't NP Geronimo. He just got here. NP one of the units with 500 health. We might lose, chat. This is not looking good. Are you kidding me? Are you fuck? That is so bad. Like that is so bad. Like that. Yeah, Jinkei. Yeah. Okay, game. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, this looks like a loss. I don't even know what I'm going to adjust here. This is quite bad. Can we not murder Anastasia, please? I have no idea where I'm going to get 27k damage. She NPs so quickly.
はい、わかった。死んで。静か。死んで。
いただく。
I would like her to kill Charlotte though.
ここまで。
死になさい。
I don't think I evade until we're down to 1 unit. We gotta make sure we get max value.
ええ、はい、わかった。
Also, can we get our NPs, please?
静か。死んで。
No quick charge.
死になさい。
So the dream is she NPs the front Anastasia because the front one already has defense down, so she's weaker. Fuck, and I was gonna say because she'll have used her NP. Oh, god damn it. Oh, god damn it, game. Why did you drain? Why did you do that, you bitch?
わかった。
I think we're gonna lose because there's no way we're getting both of our NPs now. We only get one. And I'm not gonna lie, Anastasia's damage is not the most impressive thing I've ever seen here.
永遠の美、苦音の宴。
Also, she's
同州は
healing
時
again.
の果てに。ファントムメイデン。
I cannot believe it took us that long to get our NP when we both had so many art cards.
いただく。
Okay, we don't. Fuck you! God damn it! I think I gotta do Buster Art because it's slightly more damage.
動くな。
The problem is because we're NP1, we can't ever get over 100%, so if he drains, we're never getting our NP.
壊れてちぎれて割れてしまえ。
Also, if he drains, she gets her NP faster,
死
so...
になさい。捉えた。
Don't. I hate her. I fucking hate her. I fucking hate her. You fucking bitch. Oh my god. She fucking quick charged twice.
ええ、はい。
Go to hell. Oh my god. We never impede. We never impede. Even if we crit here, I don't think it's enough. Oh, crit. Oh, Anastasia attack a 3 of a kind bonus. You couldn't do 600
永
more
遠の美、
damage.
苦音の宴。
Oh
同州は
god.
時の果てに。ファントムメイ
I
デン。
feel like more times than not, the setup we just used would actually work. It's just, that was really bad luck. Like, that was really bad luck. Especially with Geronimo. The Geronimo timing was so bad. Yeah, she NP'd so many times, and so she healed for like, 15k or some crap throughout that fight. Okay, let me think about this. Is there anything better than Charlotte at this for Carmilla? Someone that could like smack Carmilla at the start. I could put Geronimo at the start just to build up his NP and at least have him NP. That's not too bad. There's also Hohenheim. It's just you gotta kill those riders pretty quick if you have a caster out in the front. Ooh, new challenge quest looks bad. Alright, let me think here. Berserker 2. Oh. If we get her NP, that's really good. Holy crap. If we get... Cairo, do you have her yet, by the way? Because I'm sure you've noticed this, that her NP is going to be kind of busted, and if we have double her, especially with Leonidas, and like mashed by time, and Bin-K, we can actually do the taunt wall thing and get their third skill. So, okay, I think she's our plan here. We get her NP. We still want Jin-K's NP, though. I almost want to go Hohenheim, because right now Hohenheim is like the same stats, and the team cost is better. And, he's more likely to get his NP because of his battery. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. I just have to keep Crazy Pants alive here. Like, if she gets her NP off, that is going to be such a big edge up on Carmilla that I think we'll be okay. Because the dot will make up for her healing throughout the fight. And then some, I would think. Pyro, we actually are going to need to level Benkei, I think, because we're going to need the taunt, and we're going to need another curse thing to work with her sometimes. I think, unironically, that's going to be an effective thing from time to time. We both need a 25 Benkei, and we both need a 65 Benkei, I think. Because we don't have George, like, our taunt options are pretty limited. I stream with Samsung decks, generally. And like Samsung decks, you basically use your PC as your monitor for your phone, like the display device for your phone, and then you stream that, essentially. It is kind of a pain, and it doesn't have like perfect video quality and stuff, but it's really the only reasonable way I found for Android. Okay, that was good. I still want Jinkei's NP, actually. I need to be paying attention here. I need to be maxing out my NP gain opportunities. Kinda wish that guy had lived, actually. I don't want to go too slow because I don't want someone to die, but we gotta get our NP going. So I still need to murder one of the riders for sure. I think I go ahead and heal because it'll probably be back by the time our casters show up. Okay, that's a hand that I can get behind. Nash getting her NP as well would actually be good, but it's a little late to worry about that. Okay. I think we just go as fast as possible now. Fire the plates. Alright, I need Jinkei to live one turn because I need an NP right away here, I think. Could invulnerability her. I mean, she'll probably live because Carmilla only gets one action this turn, so I think Jinkei is safe right here. Maybe I shouldn't have done that attack up because she is going to heal some of this back, but this should be decent damage. Too bad Carmilla's not lawful good because then it would get the bonus. Hey, Fishy, thank you for the 17 months, man. Damn, what is that? That is... What? This is cracked as hell! Tyler, did you do this for this fight too? Because that is so cracked! Look at that damage! Like, what is that? Everyone else was doing, like, everyone else was doing jack shit, and she just comes in here and does that, and then now the dot is gonna wreck the heals. My god. It's because she gets the attack up and, like, the good stats at low level and everything. My goodness. Alright, let's see if we can get, 10K's probably gonna barely not do 10K though. She seems to be that way. We'll still use this though, you never know. Okay. Thanks, Cam. Imagine lowering your crit chance when you do that. Boom, 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 I think. And we gotta be on the lookout for lawful good bosses. Okay, she actually killed it that time. That's actually really helpful. Oh god, Carmilla's in ping because she quick charged. Please kill Nash, I guess. Just not Salome, of course. She's just salty. She's just salty. She's mad that Salome wrecked her ass. Well, thankfully the dot works from the grave. That canceled out the heal and an extra 1,000, so. I think I go ahead and give him the invulnerability, because Nash could die any second, and I don't want that rider running everything.
行きます。
よし
You know what? I have faith in Jinkei.
や
飛ぶ
I've lost all faith in Jinkei.
いただく
She even had the first card buster bonus. Yeah, actually, Salome versus Gwen then will be good for sure.
いいだろうああそうかいっそ静か
It's okay. Salome got so much done. There's no way we're not cleaning this up. But see, I had to actually think about it and make an actual better team. That's why this challenge is great. That quick charge into NP though, can we not do that?
ファントムメイデン
At least Geronimo didn't die this time.
さらば
She's so screwed though. She has no chance now. It's over. That dot is just obliterating her. I don't even need to go for my NP.
えはい
I can just do casual normal card damage. She's actually probably dead here. Even if Anna doesn't kill her, Salome will.
壊れてちぎれて割れてしまえ
Yep, she's dead.
死になさい
Salome gets the kill from the grave. That's what you call
死にな
vengeance.
さいなんだ
Wrecked! Oh, I love it. Oh, that was nice.
采配です先輩
Frickin' CARMILLA though. I think that was our first L in Orleans. We were doing good with not getting wrecked any, but we got a smack there. We're gonna fight okay, actually I think we're fighting Fafnir right now, I think, because it's just pure Rider. I can't think of another time that they would do that. And I remember you fight him in the desert, so... Okay, Jekyll and Hyde's pretty good here, actually. We should be okay. This is actually probably a hard boss with these restrictions, because it's the first boss you ever fight that's AoE. Like, his normal attacks are AoE, so you can die quite quick. But... we have a lot of assassins. Now, I'm trying to remember if there are trash mobs in this fight or not. Oh, I know that there are, because I remember when I did this for that Kojiro video that I made, I used double Arash to just blitz past the mobs. So there was no taunts and no trash on the boss side, and it was just Kojiro versus the boss. So I think there are dwagons before it. Let me think. How do I want to deal with that then? Maybe Jekyll and Hyde early so he can get his NP. Probably save her in the back. I'd like to save Mash for when the fight is actually going so she can use the defense up on the AoE attacks, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to make that work. Let's see, how many assassins do we have? I almost want to use Jason to heal someone that's important. Even though he's neutral, that's not too bad. We don't really have the team cost for Spino, and she's not particularly good right now. This would be good for cleanup because it's just so much health. Team cost is still definitely an issue. Leveling is good. Need to do some free quests, man. I kind of want to use another assassin in the front because you could get their NP. And Sanson, I don't know. It's Sanson though. I'm not sure Jason makes sense anymore if I'm doing it like this. Do like that to heal her though. Is this good enough? Okay, this seems alright. This is kind of weird, but I think this will be alright. If everyone gets their NP, it'll be really good. I'm just worried about someone dying before we get there. Yeah, Jason has a good growth curve at the beginning of the game, so he gets lots of stats early. The issue is he gets less stats when you're higher level, so he falls off. And then he's also a 1-star, so he caps sooner. So his actual total stats end up being trash, but at the very beginning of the game, he's actually pretty solid. Okay, I assume the silver one will do the most damage, so we'll go for that one. Sanson Brave Chain. Why does Sanson make so few stars? Immediately crit. Could do without that. Dude, I forgot about that animation. It's like face rip right there. It's so rare that you see that. And I think I forgot to put that in her animation update video. At some point, I'm gonna make a video of just like all my favorite animations in the game. And Jin Kale is gonna make the cut because like her NP is awesome, and I'll totally make sure to include that. That's a animation you don't see much on her. Well, this one's got the crit buff, so I guess we kill that one. Get Jekyll NP. Damn. He's ready to go. I guess Sanson because he's kind of behind. Alright. That's good. Alright, so this next wave we can just focus on killing them as fast as possible. I might grill Sanson a little bit because he's like our only anti-debuff. But I don't think I grail him loads, but I might grail him a bit. Kinda depends on how many grails we ultimately have. This one's gold, so I figure it has the highest attack stat, and it's level 14, so that one does. And it crit! Okay, oh god, please don't kill Sanson before we get to the boss. Yeah, the gold one definitely does the most, and it crit there, so that was really bad. Would have been nice if I could have one-shot it, but... No! No! What? Really? Yeah, just attack Sanson 4 times in a row. No problem. Do I evade Sanson? Do I think his NP is worth it? I think I... Oh, God. Why? This is so bad, because he might still die next turn, because yeah, of course you don't even kill that one. I think I have to Sanson NP one of these dragons. How are these dragons doing so much damage? Do I overcharge? I might use this to overcharge Hyde, right? No, he hasn't taken enough damage yet for that to be worth it. Oh, the embarrassment. Oh, well, okay, that one's definitely dead. I wasn't sure it was gonna do 7k, but it doesn't matter. That's good at least. Okay, Sanson dies now, so he was not particularly good here. The boss is AoE, so it's guaranteed that he dies right here. So on the one hand, I want to transform to get the overcharge, but I don't think it's worth it because I want the heal needs to be effective. And then because Jin K is going to drain her own life, she is going to die here as well. So our assassin opening did not really work out as I would have intended, and also the boss has more health than I thought. Why can't we use Kojiro, man? Kojiro would be so good here. He has evade. Okay, Jin K actually did awesome damage right there though, so I think we're okay. Wow, please don't kill Jekyll and Hyde. No, why you gotta crit me like that? Well, I think we definitely transform. We do that, and then we do that. Go for the crits, I suppose. Friendly smile. You didn't crit with either of those, champ. What is the play now? Best I can do. He's gonna die pretty quick. Got the defense up, but still. Trying to save Charlotte's evade for the NP. Okay, he only attacked once because he's a big dummy. I think we're alright. Yeah, we got this. This is our last assassin though, so that is a bit of an issue. But we still have our heal from our Mystic Code, we still have our evade, and we still have Jason. So yeah, oh yeah. We're good. I might as well use the evade now, because if I don't win this turn, we win next turn, but I'm pretty sure we just win right now. Look at that face, dude. Dude's wired. Alright, we got him. That was a little close, but not as bad as CARMILLA, definitely not. Jason leading us to victory, good man. How do I have 9 of those? I haven't farmed anything yet. I think the next boss is like, I don't know, Shadow Servants or something, and I know you fight, I think you fight Sanson again, but I thought you fought Sanson again in the desert. Maybe you don't. Huh, I don't know. It's either Sanson or like Shadow Servant something. Well, that ain't Sanson. This is probably just Knights. We'll do Berserker stuff. I don't think this is anything fancy, so it's okay if I'm a little stupid. Should be alright. Look at that, look, 5,000 health, Jason. Actually tanky right now. How is this place 19 chapters? How much time do you spend in the castle? I may be getting my singularities confused and it's not 19 chapters, because I have no idea. Like, I know once you go to the castle, that's the end. Like, you never leave the castle and go back or anything, so I think I just got my chapters confused. I'm using her card instead of the art card of what I got the attack up thing. Damn, Caligula didn't kill that one. She might crit kill it. Wow, she almost killed it just normal. Kind of throwing out the skills frivolously because I know they're not going to last very long. Like the Berserkers aren't going to last very long. Hell, I should have used hers. Should have killed there. Damn, poison. He's gonna die from that really quick. Only he had his guts. It's actually not as strong as the poison earlier, I don't think. Kind of fun having berserkers just storm the castle though. It's a good opening. Okay, nothing too special here. Why not? Try to keep him in it a few more turns. We might just kill this thing. Oh, the lucky crit. He's definitely dead now. Damn. Well, that heal went to waste. So did the evade, because we never attacked her. Can Jason finish this thing off with his high stats? Nope. It is kind of cool having Jason feel like he's powerful right now, because later on it's not like that. Normally you do Jason's Buster card and it feels so weak, because ultimately it doesn't get that much stronger than where it is right now. You'll see a little good stat boost for like the next like 20 levels, I think. Maybe 15, and then it's like nothing. Just Saber. Did a Shadow Star? What the hell is Just Saber? Maybe it's just the Knights, but I wouldn't think that they would just do all the same class. Well, regardless of what it is, I'll bring Billy. I don't remember any big boss fights at this point that are Sabers, so maybe it is just Soldiers. It's either that or like D'eon again, but I'm pretty sure D'eon is dead at this point. Oh, it feels bad, by the way. Who do we say for cleanup? Probably... William Tell's pretty weak stat-wise, but hopefully we never get that far back. Oh, we're so limited on supports, man. There we go. Let's see if we can get Kid Gilles NP. That'd be pretty cool. She doesn't really need that. It's okay if she dies. Alright, even if this is a boss, it's a good setup, and if it's not a boss, it should also be a good setup. Imagine if those units were banned. Also, it literally says what it is. That would make no sense if those units were banned. Like, no one would use any of those units really anyway, and then you're just gonna use all the typical low star stuff.
Okay.
Oh man, the poison right off the bat, and that ignores counterclass too. Look at them being smart. Damn, that didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. Okay. 8K. We'll save the charisma. Man, they're both being blonde. It makes it kind of hard to pick out their cards quickly.
Okay.
Kind of silly. I was like, wait a minute. Getting a bit beat up here.
行くよ。
Crit, crit, crit. Yeah, there you go. Damn. No luck for Kid Gil's NP game there. Billy though. Didn't even need the quick or extra attack. Alright, is this a boss? No. Fire everything. Let's see if Kid Gil can kill them. He's got a high attack stat and he's got double attack up. However, he's NP1. Oh no, he's NP2. Oh damn, I think he has this, chat. We're about to unleash NP2 damage. We've never heard of such a thing. Nope, didn't quite. Close though. 32k. I think that's the most damage this account has ever seen. That's like the biggest damage pop-up. That's like a high score right there. Honestly, Billy doing pretty good there. Didn't have the Mystico attack up. And Bella QB, thank you for the 7 months. I remember that name. I believe you just lurked, but I appreciate it. 7 months is a long time. Rider. Maybe it's just dragons? I don't know how they got them inside, but okay, time for assassins. Might use her because she's so good right now. Nothing like Sanson cleanup at the end. Sanson with... Dude, his health isn't even that good. Because, like, we've had so many other units use that CE and they get to, like, a good chunk into 4,000, right? Oh, Sanson. Buddy. It's got a bad stat spread and bad stat growth early game, I think. I play games while watching your stream. That's legit. I respect that. I do the same thing, actually, a lot. Especially if I get to a point in a game where I'm doing maybe something, like, not the fun part. Like a more grindy part. I really like having streams up. I want to cast this right away. Let's try to get NP game. There are some games though that I don't want to have a distraction. Like if I'm playing something really hard, like when I'm playing Elden Ring for the first time, I wouldn't want to have something up. Or if I'm just, you know, some games are just brutal, right? And you don't want a distraction. But there are a lot of games where I really like having, you know, a stream up or watch a YouTube video or listen to music on the side or something. But yeah, it just depends. It's kind of all over the map. Can't really watch my own stream. I actually could on my second monitor, but that eats up bandwidth, so there's no reason to do that, so I generally turn it off. But I could if I wanted to. Don't think we're gonna use him to transform into hide, so I'm not worrying about... Well, actually, we're getting kind of beat up on health. So maybe I do want to get NP gain on him. Spread it out, though. We'll do it like that. Okay, Jin K is close enough. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 right now with stream on. What kind of, what weapon are you using? This is very important. Okay, Jin K gets her NP just in the Brave chain, or the Art chain, so we'll give it to Charlotte to do the actual attacks. Hollow Slayer Greatsword. I fucking hate that weapon. It's good though, but I fucking hate that weapon. It's so annoying. But it's really good. There's no reason not to use it if you like it, honestly, because it's a really good weapon. I just find it super annoying to fight against. This is why I don't like it. It's super annoying to fight against, and then I don't like the way it looks when you use it. Like the attack just looks kind of silly. So I don't want to use it myself, but then fighting it is crazy annoying. So do I NP this 13k one so I can do a quick chain? It's only 13k though. Nah, we'll just do that. The sword itself though actually looks fine. Like, the way it looks is totally fine. Lucatiel was one of the good things in Dark Souls 2. So many of the NPCs in Dark Souls 2 are like so shallow, and they're just like trying to like harken back to like the vibe of Dark Souls 1 without any of the depth. But Lucatiel's questline actually has depth to it. I know it translates to real life a lot with like mortality and stuff, right? Like never mind going hollow. A lot of that has to do with mortality. And so yeah, her questline's actually really awesome. Yeah, when Dark Souls 2 does things right, it does it really right. But there's just so much wrong. Pate, Lucatiel, and Creighton are really good NPCs in Dark Souls 2. Almost at 3. Okay, none of these actually have that much health. Let's see if we can kill 2. You should get 15k from the attack up Mystico thing there. I'm not sure Charlotte will do enough to kill the other one though. Oh no! I low roll. That's a low roll. Oh, this is a bad NP. Charlotte, please. What are you doing? Guys, Charlotte killed one. How about that? Actually, I think a lot of the Majula, whatever the fuck that place was called, NPCs are fucking crap. Like the merchant guy's okay, but the rest of them are really shallow and don't amount to anything, and a lot of it doesn't even make sense. Like the blacksmith not talking to his daughter when she's 5 feet away, him acting like he's never seen her. It's like, I wish I could talk to my daughter again, and she's like 5 feet away. It's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Really, the shop guy is the only good one, I think, in Majula. And he do 10k, maybe with a lucky crit. There you go. All right, Jalter must be soon. We're getting close to the big boy stuff, I think. The cat's not too bad. Not exactly. Okay, what the hell? I don't know what this is. Do I even have a rider? Let me look. I have Black Bart. Let's see who's got the better stat growth. Looks like Alex does overall. Probably X-Nay on Black Bart then. Unless we think we need more than one, but I'm not really sure what this stage is gonna be. Let's see. I mean, probably dragons. So starting with Assassin is good. Do that. Do our typical mash thing. They can deal with everything but the caster, which I'm hoping is at the end, and if it's not, we're gonna have a problem. I guess we do black. Okay, here we go. We do that, and then we do that. That way, if the class isn't quite how I think it is, then the Berserker can deal with it. It's not gonna do a lot unless he actually NPs. Damn. 1 team cost. Woo, Black Bart could use some attack stat there. Lowest on the team, slightly lower than MASH. And if you switch these CEs, it would actually favor MASH a good bit more. Oh, it must be Gilles. I didn't think you fought him twice, but I guess you do fight him twice. Huh, I didn't remember that at all. Because he's the final boss, you just fight like him vanilla, I remember. So I guess you just fight him 2 times. I definitely did not remember that. Jalter's not the final boss. She's second to final. Do I evade now? I don't think so. Kinda bad though. Well, that's okay. I would say if the caster's early, then our team is really bad, but the caster must be in the back, because I think it's just Gilles. Probably dragons coming up. 2,900, let's go. Oh, you got that. Thank you, crit. Ooh. That's what I get for not casting the evade. Maybe I should have done the art card first just to give her a little bit more NP gain. Nice turn, bud. Mash, don't kill it. Close! I should have used her first skill last turn. Free turn off the cooldown, essentially. Oh, I don't have Jinkei's NP. I thought I did. Crap. Maybe Mash will get her NP. We'll see. I wonder if Gilles has any dragons with him. Maybe I should save 1 NP to be safe. Yeah, let's save 1 to be safe. Right in the knee, dude. I wish you would not hit MASH, because our assassins aren't really useful anymore after this point, so if he attacked those, I don't care. Unless there are dragons. Okay, no, he's alone. 48k though. Well, the dream is one of these assassins dies before MASH. I really don't want MASH to die first. I am honestly gonna do invulnerability on MASH, then. $2,900, so powerful, very impactful. That's good. Oh, I could have saved the invulnerability for her. That would have been better. Well, too late now. Look at all these attack ups she has now. Throwing out big numbers and getting absolutely melted. Please hit Charlotte. Did you stop casting that? What are you, buddy? That's not a turn. That is not a turn. Okay, Gilles might be throwing a little bit.
しょうよ。どう？
He's got a massive debuff success chance up, but he's not casting his debuff, so it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm doing this because I actually want her to eat the MP now. Because he's about to get it, so I kind of want no one to die this turn.
はい。了解です。やー。どう？
Man, we're not even using our riders right now. Fuck! You couldn't spare Mash, huh? And now Charlotte's living where I don't want her to. Wow. If I had given her the Mysticode attack up, that actually might have killed. I think barely not. I think he would have barely lived. Oh, Gillius. Great voice acting, by the way. Get him. Bang, bang, bang. I love Blackheart's animations. Great. Fitting, stylish, but not over the top. That's my jam right there. Jalter might be next, but I think there might be like a little bit of filler. Oh, I know there's some filler because I know there's Shadow Servants. That might be next, we'll see. Man, I'm actually pretty worried about Jalter. She's a freaking ruler. This is probably Shadow Servants. Might be Atalante, Phantom, Vlad. What's a rider that's been relevant here? I have no idea. Martha, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Well, fuck it. We'll just Berserker them. I think is the way to go here. Yeah, it's definitely Atalante, Phantom, Martha, then I guess Vlad. I guess that's what they're doing. No, let's do Mash, actually. There's a Rider and a Berserker here, so I feel like she's a safe cleanup unit. And nothing counters her, so that's pretty good. Could give her the 4,000. Yeah, that's reasonable. What else to put in here? Kind of hard to say because I don't know the order of stuff. I guess Lancer, because Lancer's not being countered by anything, and it it counters the Archer and the Berserker. So we'll do Romulus because he's got his own heal. I like that. That's pretty reasonable. Might do that for the health. What else do I got? 400 attack. That's okay. Surprised I have the team cost for this. Chat, instead of typing Garbo, I almost typed Bargar. I'm really with it today. Burger, yeah. It's either that or a bar that specializes in like Gar stuff. Okay, we were right about that part. Oh, I guess it could be Lancelot instead of Vlad. I think I fire stuff early, just try to be safe.
発揮します。はい。
Come on, one shot, let's go. Or one turn, I should say.
気持ちがいい。
Yeah, man, she does damage. Might kill here. We don't have the defense down, so probably not. Wait, is she lawful good? She's lawful good. So we got the bonus damage absolutely deleted. Oh, Lancelot, yeah. So, okay, there's one more wave though. What other class was there? I forget. Blood Axe Brave Chain. I think we kill Atalante because she gets her NP so quick. Damn, not enough. Wow. Great parenting right there. Instantly deleted kiddo. Oh no. No. Okay, we're safe. He now has double crit up, so he needs to go. Can I get away with this art chain? It is so unlikely that she would ever get her NP. I should have invulnerability her. She would have more health right now if I did, and she'd have more NP. And her NP is so powerful. What do we got here? Why? That's Steve. Why did he? God! He's in so many singularities and never in a meaningful way. It makes no sense they could have used Vlad. Why is he in so many stories and never in a meaningful way? He deserves to be in an actual story and have actual character development. God, what is wrong with them, dude? Alright, well, he's only got 14k, unfortunately, so I think we're gonna just melt him. I'm sure he'll hit hard, though. Attacking the wrong one. Okay, yeah, 3,500. That would one-shot anyone on the team, pretty much. So yeah, he one-shots everybody. Like V busters, they're dead. Let's see if we can kill him right now, though. I think we can. Got that attack right. Oh yeah. Big Roman damage. Yeah, imagine using him in Lost Belt 5. That would have been reasonable. Alright, well, I figured, and that's Jalter, because there's the ruler. Oh no, dude. What is the... I know she has dragons with her, I remember that quite clearly. I don't know what the plan is. Maybe we kill her first, and then clean up with assassins, because... if you keep the dragons alive, she only gets one action per turn, so she won't just obliterate you. However, she buffs the dragons, so the dragons obliterate you. I don't know what the plan is. Cairo, are you here? He might even be streaming right now, let me see. No, he's not. We might need a better, CE here. Maybe Leo? Either Leo or Hyde. Because Hyde does well against the dragons, and then he could transform and do good damage to Jalter. That seems okay, but I don't know if we'd actually get his NP in time. Well, let me look at my own units, and then we'll worry about the support. Actually, that's right, we haven't done Shadow Herc. We might do that, probably next stream. Like before Septum, that sounds like a good idea. And at level 20, we can probably handle that. I'm gonna see if we get like NP ranks of any units, or like we get Leonidas here or something. So Jalter's NP is AoE here and not single target. She's got like a unique one. I do not know a good alternative to Samsung Dex now. Other than just like using an emulator or using Apple. Yeah, that's not the easiest thing to stream FGO on a Android, unfortunately. Hey, Birdfire, yeah, have fun. Apparently, a lot of people playing Dark Souls right now. If only we could use him. Oh, he's so good, and he actually scales with Grails. Maybe someday they'll stop trying to stop emulators, because every other game has embraced them. Because more players is a good thing. Alright, he's allowed. He's allowed. That's good. Good start. And hell, if we had a good Buster unit, maybe we could make use of him. Because he starts with his Buster up. That's good. That's good. Okay, Blood Axe. That's a NP rank. I'd like Leonidas. That's not particularly useful. Actually, early game, that's a somewhat of a sizable heal, surprisingly. Okay, one more. Alright, we'll throw the stuff we can't use in second storage real quick. What can we not use? Kojiro, unfortunately. Oh, Lubu, he's not in. Kojiro, Mozart. Oh yeah, Book is a rare prism, unfortunately. Ushi. There's no world we ever unban Ushi, but just in case. Really no way Shakespeare makes the cut right now because there's writers here. That just doesn't make any sense. But we'll get him to level 10 regardless. Or 9, good enough. Okay, well, my first plan is going to be Zerg down Jalter and try to clean up the assassins, but I'm pretty worried that that's not going to work at all, but, I don't even know how much health she has, but the only way we're going to kill her is with Berserkers. There's absolutely no option here. I really wish we had Leonidas. I need to buy time for her to NP. I guess Mash You Smash You is another option, but I don't think we're really ready for that. I can Jason just for the heal. It's either that or an assassin so they don't die in 2 seconds. Do I summon Kairo's Mash? Double invulnerability, double defense up to protect. Yep. He's even got the CE. Okay. There we go, boys. That's the strat. I wonder if she can do it alone. I don't know if I can protect her that long, but my only other Berserker is not gonna last long either. This is where I wish I had Kaneth CD. Be a lot of survivability that way. Oh boy, I don't know about this. I don't know if it's enough damage. I might throw in Blood Axe instead of Sanson. It's just he could die so quick. Oh man, I don't know. How much health do they give her? She's supposed to be the big boss here, so I figure it's a decent amount, even though she is a ruler. Probably not going to be like 100k or anything like that, though. $50. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. Decent opening hand. No art card, though. I'm hoping I don't need invulnerability right away, just because we got that double defense up. Wow, though. She's cracked, man. She does so much damage. They're stupid. They didn't even attack. RNG cheese, boys. It's because her first skill is an attack up, so most units don't have damage up skills yet. Holy crap, I can't believe how good Salome is in this challenge. Like, she's level 12. She's level 12, and she's doing that kind of damage. I think we got this. I was honestly pretty worried, but her damage is just nutty. The salami sandwich is pretty strong, dude. Come on, hit salami. There you go. Do I give her the invulnerability? Just, yeah. She's doing so much work. NP's coming up. Unfortunately, we don't have aura back up for the NP, but we got the Mysticode one. Nom nom nom. Big damage. Okay, we don't have to attack Jalter because she's gonna die to the dot. Good fuck. Alright, easy. How about that? You just salami and you're good. I remember when I did this way back in the day, I used Lubu. And he was probably higher than level 12. He was probably like, you know, 30 or something. I don't know. I guess I evade. Like, she's pretty much got this. She's a killer, man. Getting carried. She is pretty great. She's a berserker. She comes with an attack up, and then she's got the stat curve that gets all their stats early on. So she's just way stronger than most units right now. Well, that evade got so much value because the triple attacked her. Well, she has double defense down now, so we really can't protect, and we're out of gas. We got no more invulnerability, no more evade, no more defense up. She's gonna die any second. So what she can do before, uh-oh. If that hit Salami, I think she would have died. Yeah, she would have. Because, double damage because Berserker, and then double defense down, so that would have killed her. I bet you Kairo's gonna do the same thing, because I am pretty sure he's aware of how cracked she is at this low level. So I'm pretty sure he'll do something similar to this. I wonder if we can do this with no one dying. That would be incredible. They're pretty low though.
行きます
He's not gonna kill it unless she crits. 10% chance. Just don't attack the front mash. Don't do it. Woo! She only lived that because the defense downs were gone and then she had double defense up. So big turnaround there. Alright, nobody died. OP. We'll give it to
行きます
Salome here. Idiot dragon indeed. Alright, pretty smooth. Let's see if the final boss gives us any more trouble. It shouldn't. We don't have a lot of riders, but still. It's pretty straightforward, I think. I wonder how much health he gets. So the final boss of Fuyuki had 22k health. Obviously we were level 1 though, so that was actually pretty daunting. Let's see what the final boss of Orleans have, and then we'll see what the final boss of Septum has. Alright, definitely that, no question. That, and then I think Berserker stuff. One team cost away from that. Just for damage. Salome was definitely the MVP of the Singularity. Like, she did so good. Let's see, I will say Jin K and Charlotte did really well, because there were so many riders. We were fighting riders for days, and they did well against the Berserkers. Like, Lancelot, Vlad, and a lot of Kyohime. There were a lot of big Berserker fights, and where we got our big single target bang bang was Charlotte and Jin K. for the most part. Yeah, Charlotte, Jin K, and Salome for sure. 63k. I mean, that is a hell of a lot more than Saber Alter had. If I had a Buster card on Alex, I would do my other attack buffs, but I do not. We'll probably go for Alex NP. Got an art chain. I guess well, 40% Buster crit though. Alright, I'll do that. Normal card damage at this point isn't actually that far behind NP damage, so no one's NP 5. The most relevant stuff is those are the only servants we can use, and then you can only level up 10 times per singularity. We've said though, if you get a super success and you go slightly over, whatever, it's fine. So we're not gonna be like crazy specific with that, but we're not gonna go like, oh man, we go to level 30 in Orleans. Like, you can't do that. You can do the Buster chain. Yeah, that's fine. Gilius's problem is he only has 2 actions per turn, so he just doesn't get anything done. He might be dead. No, he's not dead next turn. We're not going to do that kind of damage with AoE. Oh, we got... No! Stop it with the NP down. Alex got wrecked. Well, I guess Black Bart's gonna be our damage then. He waited all that time to use it.
いずれ彼方へ至るため
I mean, everything is really weak, so, you know, having like a 10%, 14%, whatever, NP down is gonna be noticeable compared to someone that doesn't, because ain't nobody doing any damage right now. Oh, I actually should have done it the other way, because he did defense down. And he still did less, because, 1 star, I guess. But yeah, we should have done it the other way, because he did defense down, so the defense down could have made Alex do more. I forgot that he had defense down, to be honest. That's kind of sad. Black Bart, you have failed us. Not that we're gonna lose or anything, but... Yeah, Gilles isn't bronze. If he was bronze, then Black Bart definitely would have won there, but... He absolutely did not. Like, he lost to Alex when Alex had a debuff. Like, brah. Alright! That's Orleans, boys. Actually, I think that was a bit easier than Fuyuki. It did get a bit spicy, like Sanson and Lancelot was kind of hard, and we barely beat Kiyohime and Liz. Like, there were a lot of, and Carmilla. Okay, fuck Carmilla. That was tough. Like, Carmilla was harder than Saber Alter, but that stage before Saber Alter was probably the hardest thing we've done so far. That was so dumb. Like, that stupid caster hand, and I didn't have a rider yet. But yeah, it's just Orleans, so it's gonna get rough. I'm gonna hate it if Septim is hard. Septim doesn't deserve any. It does not deserve like, oh man, Septim is like super hard now. Like, it doesn't deserve that. No, it deserves to be a bitch. Get that out of here. Alright, another Grail. So now I can level up to 20 to 25, although we have to aim for 20. If it accidentally goes to 25, it's fine, but yeah, 20 to 25 is our level cap now. Which I might do here real quick, just to see what happens. Oh, time to roll story, boys. Grab our SQ here. We need to update the visual guide, because some people are not understanding it. We need to put on there that these are the servants that are allowed, and we also need to put on there that we obviously can't spend money, which should be a given, but... Free stuff. I think we actually missed one the other day. I'm gonna have to go back and see which one it is. Because yeah, you can have number 5 done, which is that one right there. I wonder what is that the one to do a stage in the forest or in a forest? Because there's an Orleans free quest we got to beat anyway. That's in a forest, so that would count for that. Yes, okay. Yeah, well, I'll do that later. Because while I'm waiting for Cairo, I might as well do free quests. Alright, boys, let's see what we get. I care so much more about the gacha on this account than normal. Because, like, we need stuff. We want the 3 stars that are allowed, because we need the NP ranks, because NP ranks are really important. Damn it, you're not Billy. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just skip through this. He's allowed. He's allowed. Oh my god, she's allowed. Wait, no, she's not allowed. Oh, is she allowed? I forget. Is she allowed? If she is, that's so lucky, because like we're you know, 5 stars are rare, and there's like, oh fuck you, game. That's not allowed. She is. Oh my god, that's so funny. That dude, the odds of that are so low. There's literally like 3 or 4 5 stars that are allowed, and I just got one of them. Well, there's our, oh, that's good. That's actually really good. There's our Lancer, then. This is a really good roll if it wasn't for the fact that, okay, someone screenshot this right now and send it to Cairo. When I show the page here, somebody needs to screenshot this and send it to Cairo on Discord, like, immediately. I did 110 roll. I did 110 roll. That is so ridiculous that we got Booty Lancer. Going to the only 5 stars that's allowed. That's so... Dude, I'm cheating! I'm so glad I'm streaming this because no one would believe it. I'm getting all the golds that are allowed. It's ridiculous. Look at all these servants.
召喚に天秤
It's taking so long to get to the screen that shows the tin roll. Oh, right, we get rare prisms from the ones we can't use, so we actually need Anniversary Blonde now. Okay, game, we get it. I got new characters. There we go, someone screenshot that and send that to Cairo. Literally one tin summon. Yeah, hi Cairo, there you go. Yep, we got the one fucking 5-star we can get. Oh my god. Because, like, Lion King's allowed, but she's story locked, so we couldn't get her. Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, this is only the second time I have chat. I gotta be clear about this. I have been playing FGO for like 5 years, right? And I have a lot of accounts, right? So I roll more than most people because I'm getting all the free SQ on a bunch of accounts at once. So I roll more than most people. And in all this time, only one other time have I gotten double 5-star, and that was the Lion King raid up where I got Lion King twice in one roll. And so this is only the second time this has ever happened, and of course it's on this account. Well, thank you, Elephant Lady. We get Anniversary Blonde because of that. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely... That roll was incredible. Because not only do we get some of the few things that we can use, but we get rare prisms, and we want rare prisms. Alright, let's burn the stuff we can't use here. Streamer luck is real, apparently. I can't even deny it on that one. Like, that was just ridiculous. So sad for Luvia. No chance there. Okay, yep, those are all banned. There's some rare prisms for us. I know so many people would probably want those servants. I'd give them to Chad if I could, but I cannot. Okay, let's get Anniversary Blonde. Oh yeah, lures. That's a thing. That's a really good one, but we don't need it yet. Oh yeah, I need to figure out which one of these is Outrage, because we're definitely getting Outrage at some point. Like, abso-fucking-lutely we're getting that. I really wish they made it easier to tell which batch it's in, because the pictures are so small. It's really hard to tell. But I need to figure that out, because taunts are just such a rarity with these restrictions. I think it's that one. Is that? I think I see it. Yeah, I think I see it right there. So I think it's this one right here. So 2017. It's only 3 rare prisms, actually. I almost want to grab that real quick, just because taunts are awesome. I don't know though. The anti-divinity one. That's some good shit. It's either anti-divinity or outrage. And there it is. That's the good stuff. Make sure we get that in the bag. Chat, what do you think? Anti-divinity or a taunt? Now, the thing is, we're going to get more rare prisms. There's just so many golds on the list that are banned that we're going to get both. Anti-divinity, like, let's see, what's coming up? What's coming up? So we got Orleans, Septum. There's not too much divinity in Septum. I mean, and then there's, the demon. Is the demon god divine? If the demon god is divine in Oceanus, then I think we definitely get anti-divine. Because I think he's going to be so hard at level 30. Q-Alter's not going to be a problem. I'm more worried about demon gods and things like that. Q-Alter won't be that bad. I'm kind of leaning towards Outrage. Taunts are good, man. And we've got Shakespeare now. And most of the hard stuff early, I'm going to go Outrage, actually, because I think most of the hard stuff early game is not divine. Now, the next thing I'm getting is definitely anti-divine. That is absolutely the next thing I'm getting, but I think Outrage is good. I think that's a good pick. Let me make sure this is the right one again, 2017. Yep, I can see it right there. And we're going to get plenty more rare prisms. I think this is okay. I don't think I'm nuts. Fucking Kiyohime right there. Oh, 10 more SQ. It's not quite enough for a 10 summon, but We'll definitely do that next stream.
ちょっと
I don't think... Actually, medals might matter for passives. I didn't even think about that. Medals could absolutely matter for passives. Crap. Who on the list even needs Dragon Fangs, then? I might grab medals just to be safe, even though no one needs them for ascending or skills that's on the list. It's just, I don't think I need Dragon Fangs much either, and you cannot farm Camelot medals until beating Camelot. I mean, it'd have to be someone's passive. That's the only way Camelot medals would matter. But so, they make some really random mats for passives. Oh, Booty Lancer does. Okay, that's... We grab that then. Because I can't think of much use of Dragon Fangs right now. So yeah, if Booty Lancer takes them, then for sure we need to grab that. Although we can't ascend her for a long time because her default level cap is 50. So she can't ascend, I think, until we beat London. So, kind of a yikes there.
交換交換とさて何を
Okay,
ご
there's
紹
our
介
outrage. Super good right there. Who do I slot it on? Because I need to put it on my support list so Cairo can use it. What makes sense? If I had Leo, I'd put it on Leo because there's an easy double taunt. There's Mash. Cairo, are you still here? Because I can just let Cairo pick. I'm trying to think. Like Leo is a really obvious one because that's an easy double taunt, but we don't got it. Shakespeare's okay. I think I'll put it on Shakespeare for now, and if Cairo needs something more specific, he can just tell me. I think he's not here right now. Oh, did I not have her slotted in the other one? We'll do that. That seems pretty useful. I thought I had her slotted in the other one, though. What the hell did I put? Oh, Blood Axe, I bet. No? How is she slotted in both? They don't normally let you do that. What? I'm legitimately confused. You're not supposed to be able to slot... Oh, it's because it's not set. Yep, that's why. It's because it's not set. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll do... Blood Axe and that one. That's really weird. A lot of these I don't have two to slot. Okay, I'll go ahead and burn her up because let's be honest, that's going to be really good. Do I have the quick one? I do. Thank you, boy Jason. Boudica's not allowed. Wait, actually no, Boudica is allowed, isn't she? Yeah, why on earth would we ban Boudica? Yeah, Boudica's allowed. I actually think she could be kind of good. That's like our art support because we can't use Mozart. So yeah, okay, we'll level Boudica. I don't think that's crazy. She's all right. You can bind her with Mash and you can get some tanky stuff going. Okay, I guess. Phantom in the leader slot, why not? I kind of want Boudica in the other slot so she can have the starting NP. Although that won't matter until later in the game. Because I want her to have this. But yeah, right now that's not going to matter, I don't think. Actually, Phantom has the star thing, so actually he's good with 2030. Cairo won't look at the all slot much, so I should probably switch. I'll put Sanson there because you'll only need Sanson for debuff stuff. And once he knows it's an all slot, he'll know to look there for the few times we need anti-debuff stuff. Oh my god, why did he do it this way? That UI. Why not? Fuck up those casters, man. I forgot I had that. I should have used it on Gilius, but we didn't really need it, I guess. Alright, this is fine for now. Alright, we're allowed to go to 20, and if we go a bit over 20, that's okay. So, 20 to 25, generally. I cannot believe we got Booty Lancer, dude. What the hell? Like, that's so ridiculous. No great success, please. Oh, right. I have to wait for Cairo to level up. Well, he can't use Booty Lancer because she's too high for Orleans. Yeah, it's true. If I level up to 20, he can't summon my stuff, and then he's fucked. So we have to wait. Okay, well, we basically just deleted Booty Lancer from existence until Cairo is done with Orleans. Hector it is. Just don't update support. Yeah, I was gonna log in later for free quests, so it's fine. He doesn't need her anyway. There's not much in the way of archers for that throwing. Yeah, I'm glad someone said something because I absolutely was not thinking about that. Oh, chat, excuse me. We have 30 SQ. Well, we know what time it is then. We're not sabotaging, it's fine. Not on the list, god damn it! Oh, that's good. Not on the list. Not on the list. Need rare prisms though. That'd be such a good roll if it was a normal account. Babbage is good, Darius is good. Good Saber right there. Well, we're close to being able to get Anti-Divinity now. I think we need one more. I think we're at 4, we need 5. Oh, Jekyll and Hyde, that's good. We can get a dupe there. And Geronimo, that's legit. We need Geronimo in P ranks, alright.
いらっしゃい。千里の道も一歩から。
He probably hits harder than Anastasia right now because of that. Oh, shoot. Man, we could have had Black Bart have done more on the boss fight there. What? Did I slot the one on support that was level 1 on accident? I did. Excuse me. Okay, maybe we were sabotaging Cairo. Maybe just a little bit. But hey, we fixed it. Dude, we got Booty Lancer. What is that? If I had gotten that roll earlier, I might have actually picked her as my free 5-star, because then she'd be in P2. I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of archers that are a big deal, but an NP2 5-star on an account as crappy as this, that's pretty good. So lucky, man, so lucky. Like, that is blessed as fuck. Like, that is so blessed. Like, what on earth? How does that even happen? Okay, Fergus is not in, that's not in. Don't worry though, Baldy's in, we're saved. Okay. Alright lads, I think we will wrap up there. I am going to stream Dark Souls 3, but I'm going to take a break. I'm going to eat and stuff, so I'll probably kill the stream and be back in like 10-20 minutes. So if you're interested in Dark Souls 3 stuff, I'll be streaming that soon. We'll probably make a new character. We're going to make like a proper strength build, use some chunky boy weapons, do something different with that. But for those that are just here for FGO, thank you for hanging out. We'll do more of this. We actually might, if we do it tomorrow, is up to if Cairo finishes Orleans or not. So if he doesn't, we'll probably play the Steno account or whatever. But whenever Cairo gets done with Orleans, we'll pick this back up. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you all in like 10-20 minutes for Dark Souls 3. Peace.